Yeah. It better be right. Like I can't get up there and say nothing that the school didn't prove. Ain't no such thing as me saying some wild shit. Nah, y'all give me I'm by myself. Hell no. Hell no. I seen a man rise from the young shit, drugs in my sight, never yield. I'm indebted to that old Lord Christ. Can't let them colors fly, only blood was a fight. Try to vibe my brethren, I'ma put it in his life. As you want an indoor, damn right. I need that white gold with the stones, look like Tazaryach and ice. Shit. But all the families, this shit right here for the cold-blooded killers and the gangsters vibes. But the whole club it break it for a $5 teeth. Spend a whole 100, no stunting. This is for the niggas that need more money. I done stopped the rebel from putting several in the casket. He's throwing everybody involved if I ask it. So don't make me get a word. I'm scared of what he might do. Don't make me build a nerve down in your lawn. Feel like it's the beginning of the purge. Look, right. It's like I'm all out of options. Caught me in a killer with a conscience. Ginger ale and ice with tequila talking nonsense. Cause beef ain't really no beef. Till there's no more sleep, do a drill, we do a drill. Osmos and beef, two to the body, one to the head. It don't repeat. One west, you know them cult leaders that run the street. I seen a man rise from the dust shit, glories in my sight. Never yield, I'm indebted to that old Lord Christ. Can't let them colors fly, only blood was a fight. Try to vibe my brethren, I'ma put it in his life. Is you want an indoor? Damn right. I need that white gold with them stones, look like Tazaryach and ice. Time, but still, the problems we need to begin. Life changed with the seasons. Praise to the art. Got a limited power. War with me, why bother? I know Mr. Mayor in Chicago. Play I drop shit like a toddler. Make that Glock speak like Tommy. Leave a cold, call me Mark. I done seen Benjamin turn many men into monsters. Lay that lamb down, I feel like Benjamin Markle. Lord, I pray salvation sweet like peach cobbler. Right now I need a bankroll big like Miss Parker. As I enter the darkness, the truth the only way. Left a slim chance, but it hit like Colin Ray. Heard that demon on my shoulder, and I told him not today. So I try to stay focused. I ain't even boasting, cause all that goat shit hypnosis. And you ain't gotta talk shit when everybody knows. You ain't even riding or you talking. You're the buzzballs of poets. It's a thin line between love and hate. That's why I cut involved. Just pick this bad bitch up like Roddy Smalls. Threw that burden on my shoulder like shit, I obey the orders. That's why I overcame it all. Seen a man rise from the dust shit, glories in my sight. Never yield, I'm indebted to that old Lord Christ. Can't let them colors fly, only blood was a fight. Try to vibe my brethren, I'ma put it in his life. Is you want an indoor? Damn right. I need that white gold with them stones, look like Tazaryach and ice. Shit. Time, but still, the times was in the we live again. Yeah. Sneaking away from the plantation. I like that. Sneaking away from the plantation to hear Cap zip up the body bag on this guy. Hey, y'all, I was at the gym today. And while I was at the gym, hold on, let me send this brother a message real fast. Hold on. Wait, hold on. Peace. I need your link. Hey, man, while I was at the gym today, I had an experimental oil, new oil called gas. If y'all know the last gas for men, it was a combination, I think, of God tier, Uwe, some others. So for the cookout, I wanted to wear something unique that nobody else had, essentially. And so when I got it, I put it on or whatever, and I had left the spray because I preferred the spray, but I had left it, so I had my oil, but it wasn't filled all the way to the top. So I was at the gym today, and I'm at the gym and I'm working out, and as I'm working out, I see this brother walk up to the sister, and I don't know what they talking about because I always have my headphones on, so I don't know
hold on. We gotta find one ASAP. So I just see them talking, and and I'm a good lip reader, so I then see him say something like, "What is that smell?" And she says, "It's not me." So now I'm thinking, okay, he's gonna ask me, and then when he looks at me, I say, "Yeah, that's me. That smells like that." So the brother was so impressed by the smell, um, that I actually gave him my sample. So he was so impressed by it that I ended up giving him the sample that I had, and so we actually shot a commercial in the gym. And so I'm gonna play the commercial for y'all real fast. Now I remixed it a little bit that I'm gonna put on my channel, but this is from his page. So I'm gonna play this for y'all real fast. Hold on, I like to shout out, hold on, before I share my screen. I like to shout out my members. Hey, to my YouTube members, y'all see I just put that I put this audio up from these lunatics that I was talking to on Clubhouse. The more I stay away from Clubhouse, the more I realize how crazy and insane Clubhouse is. I mean, when I say insane, insane is an understatement. But shout out to all my members. Oh, I didn't mean to I put up Rhoda, but I forgot she ain't a member. I just hit hers by mistake. That's just me poking fun at her. So let me share and show you the commercial we shot. 1 second. Let me share my screen here. Boop. Boop. Let me click this here.
This is fragrance. I'm just like, wow, it's absolutely incredible. Oftentimes in the gym, you smell like a cologne or perfume, and it's too strong, it's too offensive, it doesn't breathe with the person's body. This was like refreshing. So, the only person I thought of was asking this young lady, like, what scent is that you're wearing? She looks at me. I'm like, no, it wasn't me. So, the only other person is this big black dude.
That's me. That's me. And I immediately said, yeah, that's me. I'm smelling like that. And then whipped it out of my pocket and said, this is called gas, because the name of my business is called Gas, named after my father. You can find me on Amazon and Etsy. You can find this and many other fragrance oils, body butters, sprays, beard oil, hair oil that'll make you feel good. And when the brother smelt it and I felt his vibe, I said, you know what? Now, I just made this. Like, the reason why you see the bottle so low is because I just made it as a sample to see if I like it. And so because the brother liked it and smelled it from over there, I'm giving him the bottle so he can have it. Look, I mean, that's for him.
If you come in contact with me, this is what you're going to smell, because it's absolutely incredible. It's a gym scent. So it agrees with your body. The more you sweat, the more your body temperature goes up. You can smell it, and it's not strong and offensive. This is absolutely incredible. I don't know this guy.
Right.
Never saw him in my life. He never saw me. So this is genuine. This product, I believe in it that much. And I mean, gotta support them.
Right.
Support entrepreneurs.
Right.
Support the brother. But this product is just damn good. Order it. Tell them where they can get it
You
from.
can get it right from www.callgas.com. That's 2 S's in gas. You can find me on Amazon or Etsy. The best products around.
This is it. If you want, you can DM me too, and I can get you in contact.
Yeah.
But I'm telling you, like, I'm sticking with this, brother. You got my business.
Definitely, I appreciate
it. So I'm in the gym, and this is fragrance. I'm just like, wow, it's absolutely incredible. Oftentimes in the gym, you smell like a cologne or perfume, and it's too strong, it's too offensive, it doesn't breathe with the person's body. This was like refreshing. So, the only person I thought of was asking this young lady, like, what scent is that you're wearing? She looks at me. I'm like, no, it wasn't me. So, the only other person is this big black dude.
That's me. That's
all
me.
right.
And I immediately said, yeah, so that was fire. Hold on, let me stop it. So I thought that was fire. Like, the brother shot the commercial on the spot. I believe he's a bodybuilder. When I looked at his channel, when I looked at his page, it looked like he's a bodybuilder. I was in the gym working out. He was working out. So I think he was training somebody at the time. So make sure y'all go follow the brother. The brother's name is Brandon Ray. Um he said he's a journalist as well. So I thought that was pretty good. When I say gas, for those that don't know, gas is, the name of my business is called Gas. That's my that's my last name, my boring last name. So it's not loud gas like y'all think. They saying no sound. Jay Daniels say no sound. Can y'all hear me all right? Let me know if y'all can hear me all right. Jay Daniels is saying that there's no sound. Let me know if y'all can hear me all right. As Zion, yeah, the new scent right now is called gas. 2 S's. Thank you, Candace Porter. Thank you, Sakan. Appreciate that. Jay Daniels, you might want to turn the volume up or something. Maybe it's something on your side that's stopping you. All right, the brother just sent me the StreamYard link. Let me go ahead and click the link. This is gonna be round 2, y'all, of conversation between me and West Coast Cam, as he like to be called. And I thought yesterday was very eye-opening. And so we'll see how this one goes. So I'm gonna be joining his live stream now. Let me go ahead and enter into his studio. Okay, I see him right there. I see the brother right there. Hey, peace. What's going on? How you doing? Oh, if that makes it easier for you, I didn't know if you because I know you may I didn't know if you wanted to stream on your platform as well as mine, but if you just wanted to come over to mine, however you wanted to do it. Right. Okay, okay. Now, even yesterday when you created yours, I just crossed it. So when I joined your stream, I just shared it to mine. That's how I. So what I do, so like what I do is I'll have my stream y'all going. I'll join your stream, and then at the bottom where it says present, I share that to my. Excuse me. At the bottom of mine where it says present, I share that, and then I share your stream into mine so my audience can see us together on your platform. That's how I do it.
Yeah, I'll learn that later on tonight or something. But right now, time is.
Yeah, no, I understand. Yeah, yep. I got about 2 hours or so. So, and I'm saying 2 hours. It don't have to be, 2 hours, but somebody said 30 minutes yesterday, and I knew it wasn't gonna
Yeah,
be.
yeah, that was preposterous.
But once
Yeah,
we get into that information, the thing about information, like once you get into it,
yeah,
especially when now, let's say if I was a knucklehead or you was a knucklehead, then it probably would have been 30 minutes. You know
right,
what I
right.
mean? But when it's not like that and you having a good dialogue, you want
Yeah,
to stay. You know what I mean? And so yesterday was a good dialogue. So I'm looking forward
absolutely.
to having another one.
My bad. I just hit the go live. So I'm live
Okay.
on live now. So I just want to salute you again, brother Captain Tazaryach, and
Likewise.
and this campaign trail over here. Next time, whenever we do these, we're gonna go to brother Tazaryach page. We want to share, even though this. I don't know if your page is monetized or not, but you're free to do whatever you want to do with this. You pull it down if you need me to send it. It's all up. It's all good.
Okay. I got you. All right.
On that note, and in the name of Allah, for me, beneficent and merciful. I'm not here representing the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan or the Nation of Islam. This is us informally talking as brothers, just chopping it up. It's a discussion like it was last time. So
Okay.
there's no formal.
Right. I agree. I agree. And yesterday was pretty good. Like you kind of opened my eyes to a couple of things that I wasn't aware of. And especially the Muhammad part. I actually called when we got off the phone, I actually called 2 Muslims. One was a brother by the name, well, actually to in chronological order, I called Sinetta first. Sinetta is a very good friend of mine, and I've known him for years, and he used to be a Muslim, like he was under Khalid Muhammad. So I called him, and so I'm asking him, do we do they believe that? So he was like, nah, they don't believe that. And so I called this other brother that's in the nation and asked him, and then he said yes. So now I can only go by the nation because that's y'all two is in that organization, and
Right.
then the Eric Muhammad cat, which he doesn't consider him under Farrakhan. He considers himself separate from outside of Farrakhan, so he disagreed. as
So
well.
he disagreed with what? With
That Muhammad, he disagreed that Muhammad was a white man.
well, then he disagrees with the Honorable Elijah Muhammad because everybody can go on YouTube right now. And I wish that's what but you can. I put all the links in this video.
Okay.
The Honorable Elijah Muhammad saying out of his mouth that Prophet Muhammad of Arabia, 1400 years ago, peace be upon him, was a white man.
Okay. So and I'm only asking just for clarity. So you're saying that the way that Elijah Muhammad, who's the founder,
Absolutely.
he's saying that. Okay. That's what you're saying, right?
Absolutely.
Okay, no problem. What I'm gonna do real quick is they're saying that it's a little choppy. So I'm gonna exit out, not you, excuse me, not me, but you from my side. So I'm gonna just exit out and I'm gonna come right back in just to see if that clears up whatever choppiness is in here, right? So I'll be right back. I'm just gonna leave and then I'm gonna come right back. All right. Hey, y'all said Cam's audio was choppy? Because he was sounding fine on my side. Y'all saying that it was choppy? All right, so what I'm gonna do is I checked my settings. I'm just gonna check them again just to make sure that my audio settings are good. So I have my echo cancellation, reduce background noise. So I have mine set. So I'm gonna rejoin his and then see how it sounds because it sounded, just fine on mine. So I'm gonna rejoin and see what happens. Maybe because I initially went to share from his side. Maybe that jammed it up, and so we'll see how it goes from there. All right, there we go. All right. So we're gonna go ahead and redo this joint. So so I think where we left off, you were saying that Elijah Muhammad himself said that.
Honorable Elijah Muhammad is documented and it's on audio. I should have brought it up, but I'll literally give you all the receipts. You will hear his voice, period, him and Minister Farrakhan also verifying that we were taught that the Prophet Muhammad of 1400 years ago, who the Quran was revealed to or through, was a white Arab, a white man. And he was a sign of the real Muhammad, which is the black man, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad.
Okay. All right. Well, we're gonna have to go. Listen, I don't profess to be an expert of anybody's organization. I can only go by what I may hear. And then you always go to who, like if you ask me something about ISUBK or make a statement about ISUBK, I can be the one that can actually verify it.
Absolutely.
So that's the only way that it could go. And what's weird, just for my audience is saying that you sound choppy, but the choppy is only on YouTube. I don't really hear you. Can you speak again so I can see if you can?
One, two, test, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Are they saying you sound choppy or I sound choppy?
I'm about to tell you right now. Yeah, it does sound choppy. It sounds like it's a lot of static when you talk. Now I don't hear the static in the speaker, but I hear the static in the and on my YouTube channel. Like maybe it could be mine. Maybe I gotta unplug mine or plug it back in or something like that.
Well, let me see if I can tap out and leave this going and come back.
Okay.
My wife said we both sound fine.
Okay.
And she on a whole little separate thing. So, I mean, I see you and hear you clear. So I don't,
Yeah, you sound clear on mine. And well, I think it got to be mine because when I went on your channel. Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. When I listen on your channel, so it got to be something with mine. I think because I'm gonna leave myself because when I'm listening on your channel, we both sound perfect on your channel.
Right.
So it got to be something with mine. So I'm gonna do like you was gonna exit out, but I'm gonna exit out and then I'm gonna come back in and see if that fixes it. All right. So give me another second. I apologize for that too. This looks like
it ain't you. It's the enemy. They don't want this.
All right. Don't sweat. Well, I'll be right back, brother. Hold on. All right. No, so y'all know when I listened on his channel, just so y'all know, when I listened on his channel, it's not like it doesn't sound like that on his channel. It only sounds like that on my channel. I'm gonna leave the studio. I'm gonna come right back, y'all. Give me 1 second. All right, y'all. I think it sounds good. Y'all let me know if it sounds good or not. Can y'all hear me all right? Give me a 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Give me a 1, 2, 3 if y'all can hear me. I'm gonna go ahead now. Like I said, his sounds fine. So I think it's something on my side. Now, um, I'm not gonna want to keep going back and forth. I'm gonna just get into it. So if he sounds a little choppy, y'all just gonna have to suffer it, all right? If y'all don't mind. So Lord allow this works this time. So let's see. So I no problem. We're gonna go ahead and rock this out and that's gonna be that. so I think we're good to go now. I'm just gonna share it over here. And I guess we can from what I remember where we left off, a couple of subjects we were talking about was the differences between I had made a statement of um the Allah of the Quran is different than the Yahweh of the Bible or the God of the Bible. I know we was
Mhm.
talking about that. I think you had some questions for me. Um we was also talking about the Prophet Muhammad being a white man
Right,
because I had never really heard that. Like I told you off air, I had made some phone calls to Sinetta and two Muslims from opposing sides. The Muslim that comes up in the Nation of Islam, like yourself, also
right.
agreed with you. So I just want to put that on record. So it almost sounds like I can't say, at least from what the Nation of Islam teaches,
Right,
you're not saying anything that you haven't been taught. So
right,
whether
right,
I agree with that or not, and I don't know
right.
if it's much for me to have to agree because it's not
No,
my
not at
belief.
all. We're
Right.
not
That's what I'm
even here
saying.
to agree. Yeah, we're not even here to
Yeah, that's
agree.
what I'm saying. Right. So whether the only thing I would do is just to respond to what you tell me. So if you tell me
Right,
that he's white, then I was confused. Like I was like, so you telling me the angel came and made a white man the last
right,
prophet?
right.
And you said, just so I can make sure I'm on the same page, you said that he made him the last prophet to show that if 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 you could take a white man and make him that was inherently evil, make him good, it should inspire us to be good, or am I misquoting you?
No, it's just it's the example and the inspiration for white people to do what he did.
Okay.
He became righteous by studying and living like us.
Mm-hmm.
So that wasn't his nature. Just like,
Oh,
I don't know if you know, you ever heard of Darren's dance moves, and you know how hip hop they be having books. They need to teach each other step here, step by
right,
step.
right.
That's all Bible and Quran is for them. That's our nature. We never needed a book. But when we got put to sleep under their rulership for the last 6,000 years, we also needed a book to get back up to what we were originally.
So then my question would be, why would they make the last why would they take a white man, make him the last prophet to teach him to be good? Why not make a prophet that looks like us? And I preface that by saying, like, it almost sounds a little Christian in this sense. Like what Christianity did was take Jesus Christ, the greatest black man to ever exist, who redeemed us to the most high, and they just replaced him image wise. They didn't replace him in the text, so you can read in the text what he looks like, how he's described, but image wise, they replaced him, and it almost sounds like that's what Islam did as far as taking Muhammad. So now we're still living after a white man, whether Christians living after a white man with Caesar Borgia, or whether Islam or Muslims are living after a white man with Muhammad. And that's just from me looking at how we can mentally be, like oppressed. That's how it just comes across to me.
So if I'm explaining to you if I'm explaining to you why, I don't know if you remember why I explained to you why we produced them. Do you remember any
You
of
talk about
that?
white people or Muhammad?
Both.
So white people, you wanted to what is the best way to say it? You wanted to get the white out of black people. So
Not the white, but I mean, we wanted to extract that and give
right.
that white person their own form and expression, human form and expression, meaning like they're made in our image, after our likeness, but their nature is not us. They have a human form, but they, the Bible calls them beasts in human form, right? They're beasts.
Well,
Their actions.
The Bible calls us all beasts. We're all beasts.
But
Not
you believe that? So do you believe? So I'm trying to, So
no, that's fine.
let's
Let's
do
flow.
this.
No, don't stop.
No, because you stopped me. So
oh, my bad.
You know what I'm saying? So I want to do this because maybe it'll take me 60 seconds or maybe a little more. So whenever you ask me something,
I got you covered.
Flow it. Because as soon as you ask me another question, it's going to send me to a whole try to explain something.
Right. I got you. So I'll just remember what you said and then just hit what you said after you speak. I got you. You go.
Right. And that's why I keep this, even while you're talking, I'm always writing down, because I'm not going to interrupt you. I'm just going to let you flow and then come back on the points that you made.
Okay, no problem.
So I won't, because we respect each other so much that if you ask me something right now, I'm gonna stop.
You're gonna stop everything, right? I understand. I understand.
But I forgot the question.
But you was breaking down, because I had made the statement that said that when you asked me, did I remember what you said about white people, their origin, and I said you was trying to get the white out of black, and you said no, I wasn't trying to get the white out of black, but you was trying to give them their own nature separate from us. That's where, and then you mentioned that the white man is a beast. The Bible says that the white man is a beast, and then that's where I interrupted you at.
Right. So it don't say that it don't say it word for word like that. It says that the mark of the beast. You know what I'm saying? The beast is talking about a race of people, a nation of people, and I'm identifying that that's the nation. The people that enslaved us. So they are the beast people. That is the beast race. But they have a human form. They're made in our original human or God's image and likeness. So they have a human form. So we made them to be able to fully express that force like we express the force. So God, the original black God, which is righteousness, that's why he's black, because he's from Alpha and Omega. And like I expressed last time, the energy, the eternal infinite energy or intelligence, life force, that's black. That is the black energy or the so-called black matter. That's what the originator God produced this original form, his form out of. So he also blessed them with that same form. They don't have the same power and potential, whatever, but they have the same form to express themselves, to express their force or their nature. So we extracted that out of us and separated, and it gave them time and dominion to rule, to fully express what they are. Because we had to study it, because we never knew that. We never allowed it. We kept it dormant. We kept it under the right hand. But that's a left hand or opposite or negative expression of human beings, the opposite of original, the opposite of righteous. So we produce that, but it's always, the left is always weaker. You know what I'm saying? So once we knew that our right arm was strong enough, we can now let that go. Okay, now actually let it fully express itself, and it's only going to last 6 days or 6,000 years, but it's going to do the damage. It's going to bring pure hell onto the earth. But we produce them so that we could let it run its course, so it could produce in us or trigger in us the natural immunity, a spiritual, moral, and physical immunity to that expression. So we would conquer it and and rid ourselves of it forever.
Okay. And so the where I interrupted you at was when you called the white man the mark of the beast. That is the white man. We agree there.
Right.
But the Bible would tell you like the serpent was the most subtle beast of the field, meaning beasts in the Bible in that context just represent nations. So when it says like Ezekiel, I think 33 or 34 said we became a prey to all the beasts of the field. So for
Mm-hmm.
us, Arabs are beasts, Chinese are beasts, African tribes are beasts. So the white man though is just the most subtle of all the beasts. Even when it says the mark of the beast, that's the mark of the beast that would be ruling in this time. So we will
Right.
mark with other beasts. Like if you see a cat worshiping Baal or worshiping Dagon or worshiping
Mm-hmm.
in today's time when we see people worshiping Christianity and some in Islam or Hinduism or 5%, like we look at
Mm-hmm.
them as all being marked by beasts from
So,
our
so,
biblical lens.
so are you saying beasts are evil?
Yeah.
So if Jesus is called a lamb or a lion, is that not a beast?
What makes them evil is that they're not aligned with the most high.
So it's
That's
not
what
so beasts aren't evil.
if those beasts are evil in that context. When it says we became a prey to all the beasts of the field, we're supposed to be marked by the most high. So like when you see me as an Israelite, I'm marked by the most high. An animal itself is not evil. So when we're
Right.
talking about beasts, we're not talking about literal beasts. We're talking about
So
people.
so so I'm saying, so is a lion not a predator?
Absolutely. Lion is what they call a king
So
of the
so if
jungle.
lion kills innocent animals and like gazelles and stuff that can't defend themselves, why are we called the lions? Why is
I don't
Christ called a lion?
because a lion was given that dominion. It's not even about whether
But it's still a beast according to your understanding.
it is a beast.
And
And
it's a
the lion
predator that kills, it is a predator that kills innocent animals and eats them.
facts. And so as a lion, as the king of the jungle, Christ is the king. So that's the metaphor.
He's the king beast that eats innocent
What
other
what
people.
he's not also just called a lion, he's also called a lamb. And
But I'm
these are
not talking
just
about the lamb part. I'm not talking about the lamb
but
part.
a lamb
I'm
is
talking
a
about the
beast. No, I'm just trying to make sure I explain it to you because a lamb is a beast too. But the lamb is symbolic. What is the lamb symbolic for? The lamb is symbolic for a sacrifice. So
no,
it's this
I understand that. We talking
and
about the go ahead, my
and
bad. I'm sorry.
I was gonna say, and here's the most important part. When we talking about beasts, lions, lambs, etc.,
Right.
like that, what makes it right for us as Israelites is that this is the culture that we cultivated for us. So it's not going to be unlawful for us doing it. But now let's say if we go into another beast culture. So let's say we go into the white man's culture. Now, when he has Christianity, when he has any belief, if we go into Hindu culture, to that beast culture, when we go into Islam culture, to that beast culture, what makes it unlawful is we're leaving our culture for someone else's culture. That's what makes it unlawful. That's what makes it being marked. Even the mark is like is spiritual. The mark is not ain't no there ain't no literal mark on your forehead or your hand. The mark
Mhm.
in your forehead is information. The mark on your hand is the action once you get that information. So it's spiritual that it's talking about. So it makes it good or bad for the children of Israel is if God said we could do it. If God said we could do it, then it's good. If God said we can't do it, then it's bad.
So you're not concerned with why God said is good or bad?
You
Like if
know,
you like this the example. So if we're not supposed to eat swine or shellfish and stuff like that, you just say we're not going to do it because the book said do it, or do you know why we're not supposed to do
you know, I learned how to be a great son
it?
when I
Mm-hmm.
came into the truth, right? Like before
Mm-hmm.
that, I wasn't as really a good son as I should have been. And what I always learned and what my mother and my father would always say is, do it because I told you to. So that's
Mm-hmm.
why we're supposed to do it first. Now later on, you might get an understanding as, damn, this why dad said don't do this. This why mama said don't hang here. This why my parents said don't do this. But when
Mm-hmm.
they first tell you to do it, you supposed to just obey. So when we read Leviticus the 11th chapter, that you get the why there. So the reason why you're not supposed to eat the swine is because they don't chew the cud. That's the
And
reason.
and how does that harm us?
Because the animals that we can eat chew the cud. And so now, what does chewing the cud mean? Chewing the cud means that the cow, the deer, the elk, the bison, the buffalo, they have multiple stomachs. So when they digest their food, they don't just digest it one time, they digest it multiple times. So now there's a cycling of the food that they're eating. So now it's more cleaner when it digests in their body, as opposed to the swine. It doesn't chew the cud. So the swine just swallows it directly and it just sits in that stomach. So all that bacteria and everything ain't getting recycled. So the other animals that have a split hoof and chew the cud have a recycling system, so to speak, in their
Right.
digestion. So so the Bible gives us the answer right there. Most people just don't know what chew the cud means.
No, but you just answered it. No, you did the adult mature thing. So if we're talking to children, then yeah, do what I say. But if you're talking to adults, you have to explain it. You have to prove it. You have to prove all things.
I
You
agree.
understand?
Yeah, no, I agree. That's why I said the Bible gives you the answer right there when you read it. Don't
But
it
it
did
really don't. It really don't, because chewing the cud and all of that, that still doesn't tell you why. It do specifically said this animal is unclean, but it's still up to us to find out unclean how. Like what's unclean?
no,
What's the difference between this animal and that animal?
no, it tells you. So that when I'm saying chew the cud, I'm saying that because that's what the verse itself says. The verse
No,
doesn't say
I understand. No, we agree, but I'm telling you that as teachers,
right.
we're supposed to break it down and explain it. It's not you don't do this because God said don't do this.
But I thought you were saying when God gives us instructions that I obey every commandment because God said so. So when I read them laws, I don't
Mhm.
break a law because I obey God. So that's first. That's number one. Even if I don't understand it. Let's say if I don't know what chew the cud mean, until I do know what chew the cud means, I'm still not going to eat that pork because God said so. That's why I said at some point, that's why I use the analogy. My father said, don't do this, so I'm not going to do it. And then I might find out later why, but I'm going to obey right then and there.
I hear you. So does the Bible say that it can be tampered with, or it's going to be tampered with? The Bible.
No.
So what is Revelations 22, I think 18, when it issues a warning? The angel of the Lord says if one word be
One jot or
added to
one
this,
tittle, yeah, added or
yeah,
taken away,
that
eat
that
that
means let
person.
me finish. Yeah, let me
Okay.
finish it. If one word be added to the book of this prophecy, not history, the book of this prophecy, then all the plagues and the curses, mentioned in this book will be added unto them. And if any man takes one word away out of the book of this prophecy, then his name shall be taken out of the book of life and all of that. So that's the very last words of the book and the angel of Christ and all of that. So why would he need to put that as the last words of the book if the book wasn't tampered with or wasn't going to be tampered with?
That's a warning to where if anybody, like when it says, and if any man
Exactly.
shall, when it says, if any man take away the words of this book, of this prophecy, God shall take away his part out of the book of life. That ain't just about what's written down. That's about saying this is not going to happen. Christ ain't coming back. These prophecies are, it's what you say and what you do. So it's a warning on both accounts.
So it's a warning of something that can happen and probably is going to happen. And this is how I'm letting you know whether it happened or not, because all these Christian nations that claim that they represent Christ are suffering all the plagues and curses mentioned in that book, right?
That's kind of different. So the Christian nations, they don't even read the King James version of the Bible. They
Well, that
read
means
the
they tamper with it, right?
I'm gonna explain. They didn't tamper with the King James version because the King James version is not the Bible. The King James version is the translation of the Hebrew and the Greek. So if anybody says, so like let's say like the NIV, the NLT, the ESV, they got so many different versions of the Bible. And if you actually look them up, there's a what's called a thought for thought translation and a literal translation. So the KJV is a literal translation. So when you look at the KJV, it's translated literally what it said in the Hebrew or Greek with the English parallel, as opposed to the NIV is what we think Hebrew is saying, what we think the Greek is saying. So it's still not them tampering with the original, it's them tampering with what the English would say. So if you want to say that, I would probably agree that they have changed what the English translation should be. They've even taken verses out of what the English translation should be. So I guess I could kind of agree with you in regards to that. But as far as the actual Bible, it hasn't been tampered with. When you go into a King James Bible and you look at what it says in English, you go to what it says in the Hebrew or Greek, and it's translated verbatim.
All right. And for the record, this is just what we're talking about is both our interpretations. This is our beliefs and our interpretations, right? Because I'm talking about, because if I mention something in the Bible, you say it don't mean that, it don't mean beast, it don't mean this. That's your ISUPK's interpretation of the scripture.
Some depending on the subject, because if we just talk about translation of the text, what I said about the KJV is correct. That's not an ISUBK thing. That's just correct. But if you said something like the beasts of the field, I probably still would say that's correct because that's what it means. Israel became a prey to all the beasts of the field. So beasts,
Right,
we
right.
ain't become a prey to an elk or a lion. We became a prey to the Assyrians, to the Greeks, to the Romans, to
No, I
white
mean
people.
we saying the same thing, but when I brought
Mhm.
up the king of the beast, the king predator, that kills innocent animals, you know what I'm saying, which is the lion, and that's what we compare to. And also, I wanted to get on, since we're talking about beasts,
Mhm.
I wanted to ask you what your beliefs were regarding Ezekiel's wheel and the beasts that had eyes, the beast that was on Ezekiel's wheel. What does that mean to you?
Those are I was about to say aliens. Those are angels.
So what are angels? Are they not humans?
No, angels are not humans. Angels are above. Angels are made better than humans. Angels can jump into fire. Angels can teleport. Angels can look like the beast that you're describing. I think that's Ezekiel, the first chapter.
Can
Angels
you
can
can you
do,
can you prove in it? Can you or any of your organization prove that?
yeah. When we read it, or
No,
have
no,
I
prove
seen it?
it. Not the book can't prove the book. Can you prove that in real life?
Well, the scriptures, the book actually says we entertain angels unaware. So
No,
you can be.
but it don't say angels as ghosts. Like in the
I
nation,
didn't
we
say
say
angels.
all in the nation we say all these characters are human beings. We don't say that they're ghosts or mystery or immaterial. They're all
The
human
Bible
beings.
don't
So,
say that they're ghosts either, though. Angels aren't ghosts.
well,
Angels
what
are
are they?
angel. I just explained it. You can see an angel as a man. That's why I said you can entertain angels unaware. So an angel can look like a man, or an angel can look like what we saw in Ezekiel, the first chapter. So, but it can look.
Can you give us any proof that ever happened or ever existed
Yeah,
or
when we read it in it, when you say ever existed,
no,
that's
I
what.
mean proof, not can you show me in the Bible? That's not proof.
But
We're trying to get proof of what you're saying is in the Bible.
yeah, but that's the proof though. Like if we're talking about angels, the Bible gives us the blueprint for how you would actually perceive an angel. So if the Bible says you can entertain angels unawares, you could be having a conversation with what you think is a man, but that's an angel. That's what the Bible is
What
saying.
makes him an angel? What can he do that a human being can't do?
I
You
gave
said
example.
teleport and all that.
Yeah, we can read in the text where when Daniel was in the lion's den and Habakkuk was told to go feed Daniel, and Daniel didn't even know where Babylon, excuse me, Habakkuk didn't even know where Babylon was at, and the angel teleported him into the lion's den and he fed him. We can read that.
I hear you. Do you remember yesterday when I was saying something? When I brought up that we taught that Prophet Muhammad was a white man, and you said, man, you wasn't disrespectful, but you said that's crazy, man. That's crazy, right?
Yeah.
So the description that you're giving me, the belief that you're giving me right now, that angels are not humans, but they can look like humans and they can teleport and all of that, and you cannot prove none of that. The thing that you kind of jokingly said was crazy to me is can be proven, because it's just talking about we think this is a white man, and it's crazy that y'all would revere or respect a white man like that. But you're giving us some belief that you can't prove whatsoever, that does that kind of sound like, how would we know what's crazy and what's not?
Okay, so here's what we both have, and we both agreed yesterday, because I can go to a text, but you said the Bible can't be a text. But what you said about
No,
Muhammad
I
being
didn't say the
white,
Bible can't be a text.
you said I can't use the Bible to prove it. That's what
To
you said.
prove the Bible. You can't use
Right.
the Bible to prove the
Right. You
Bible.
said I can't use the Bible to prove the Bible. But
Right.
when you mentioned the things about how white people were created, you have nothing to substantiate that except you call it a revelation. You have no text for that.
And that's, but I have the laws of genetics, the
Yeah,
laws of provable dominant and recessive genes and traits and selective breeding is proof.
no, what I'm saying is you have no text that happened back in the dawn of time. You have nothing from that time
But
to
I
substantiate.
don't, the dawn of the beginning of 6,000 years, is that what you mean?
Whatever timeline you want where you said these white people were created, you have no
Mm.
text to back that up at all. You don't even have a start text, whereas I at least
Right.
have the scripture. So when you said is when you say Muhammad is a white man, is that
Mm.
as crazy as me saying that angels can take different forms and do different things? Here's
Right.
the difference. What I'm saying about the angels, and even what you said about your belief yesterday, we said all of that is faith because none of us was there.
Right.
But here's what we do know. We
Right.
should never revere or venerate a white man. That's what, when I'm saying that's crazy,
Mm-hmm.
right now, when we go out on the street and teach, we have to teach against a white Jesus because
Mm-hmm.
for over 400
But
years,
that's because you're teaching against a lie.
wait, but remember, you didn't want me to be interrupt you,
Oh, my
right?
bad. My
I
bad. Go ahead.
appreciate it. So now, for over 400 years, we've been told to venerate a white God, a white Jesus. That's what we've been told. And that's insane because if you're taught to worship a white man, you'll never look at the white man as your enemy. You'll never learn to separate him. So now, when you tell me that your black angel Gabriel made the last prophet of your belief a white man. So there is no prophet that's going to come after this white man. And he's the example that we should live by. Then you're giving us the same white prophet or the same white God or the same white deity or the same white entity to worship, just like the Christians are giving us the same white entity. So that's what makes it crazy. That's the difference. And we can't even read none of this unless you have something. Again, I'm not a Muslim expert. Unless you have something to say Muhammad was white, unless you have something to say that the angel Gabriel created him as a white man to teach black people that, hey, I can turn this white man and make him right. That's what's crazy about it. Do you have a text to show that?
So the what's crazy, like you said, you use the white Jesus analogy. That's a lie. So somebody that's telling a lie and that's teaching a lie, you can take that position with. So if I'm saying that Prophet Muhammad is white, none of us is worshiping Prophet Muhammad. Nobody in the nation. I don't know what the Arab Muslims do, but we don't worship Muhammad. We worship Allah. And I clearly explained to you yesterday that Allah is the original black nation, and the angel Jibril was an Allah, member of the nation that taught Prophet Muhammad what he knew. So it's not about text. I'm giving you the actual concept. I'm giving you the actual story. Nobody has to believe it. Just like nobody that's watching this has to believe that people are, angels are what you say they are. Nobody has to believe what we're talking about, but we're here to lay out both of our stories or our cases or our theologies, right? So
Right.
if we're the one that taught, if the Nation of Islam is the one that taught the world, especially black descendants of slaves, that this people that enslaved us are the devil. I don't know, I hear some of y'all saying that that's where they are, but I don't know where you first heard that from, because
The Bible.
the Nation of Islam been saying it since 1930, right? And that's on record, that's documented. So I don't know when, the ISUPK first started saying that, right? So the fathers of this consciousness, the revelation of what we're talking about came from the Nation of Islam, came from the teachings of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad.
So,
Go ahead.
So the credo of Islam, or your shahada, is there's no deity except God. Muhammad is the messenger of God. So by
Right.
the NOI's teaching, the white man is the messenger of God.
That one
That's what
is.
that's what I'm saying. So
So how is that
Christianity,
crazy?
so you saying,
So
so
if you're a black man, right, and you have some
you know this
valuable
you know this number two, Cam. You
oh,
interrupted
sorry.
me. Yeah.
I'm sorry, man. So yeah, that's right. I'm sorry. Let me mute my mic. That's why you need the control. You need the control of
Nah,
the
I would
mic
never
thing.
want to mute you, man. I would never want to mute you, man. But
Because
like,
we'll get into it, but my
yeah,
bad.
yeah. And I'm gonna tell you, Cam. I always say that I don't be minded because I could talk back and forth like that. But if my opponent wants to say, let's give each other the decorum, I just
Say
want to make
less.
sure.
Say less.
Thank you, I
Say less.
appreciate it. So when when it says the Muhammad is the messenger of God, you're saying the white man is the messenger of God. That's what Islam says. And then Christianity says Caesar is God, and that's a white man. So now you got two spiritual beliefs that want black people to look up to a white man to get to God, whereas we as Israel, or even if you don't want to say look up to a white man, the white man is the pedigree for it. Like Muhammad and Caesar Borgia are Michael Jordan. What I mean by that is when anybody want to be great in the NBA, they pattern themselves after Michael Jordan. So now in Christianity, if you want to be great, you pattern yourself after that white Jesus. In Islam, if you want to be great, you pattern yourself after that white Muhammad. We as Israel, if you want to be great, you pattern yourself after the black man, Jesus Christ, after the black man, Moses, after the black man, Ezekiel, after black man, Isaiah. Now that's our people. So we look at each other as being great. I look at that. Here's a question I pose as I make this statement. Don't you think that that keeps us mentally oppressed if we're still running to a white man as the blueprint to get to God? Like, shouldn't we have our own face to look at to get to God? That's my question.
So are you at all familiar with the NOI teachings?
Somewhat. I would say I'm a novice, though. I wouldn't say I'm an
Right,
expert.
right,
Mm.
right. So um are you familiar or do you say or believe that the ISUPK, which I think you said was founded or established in 1969, did they innovate or originate the popular saying or understanding that the white man is the Satan?
No, I would say that that predated even is Nation of Islam. I would say Nat Turner, F.S. Cherry, Denmark Vesey, slaves called the white
You
man
would say
devil.
that?
Yeah,
Where's the
like
documentation for that?
so. There's a story. There's a slavery book. When I was a slave, and Mary Armstrong on page 12 called that
Mhm.
white woman a devil. Said she was a poly devil if I ever heard of one. So I would say slaves always called the white man a devil. I'm gonna see if I can get the PDF and
Did,
the
did,
page
so what year was that book written?
in the 1900s. So this book was written at a time. So in the early 1900s, as the Great Depression, when you read the opening of the book, it'll tell you that beat writers who didn't really have news stories started going to the slaves to get their narratives, to get their stories. So they would get stories from slaves, and they would tell the stories. So Mary Armstrong, it's hard to find a PDF. I want to say
So did Mary Armstrong or whoever these slaves, did they say that the black man was God and the white man is the devil?
I can't. I don't know of no record of anybody saying the black man is God, but slaves did call the white man the devil. That black woman is one
Well,
example.
if we know the definition of evil and what the devil is recognized to practice, then
Mhm.
yes, anybody could say that you're of the devil, but we're talking about naming a whole race.
Yeah,
These
listen.
people that
Mhm.
hold on, these people that you say was slaves and said this person is a devil, they didn't say the whole race is the devil.
When you go further into that book, they had a game. The white man had a game called the Donkey Devil, where what they would do is they would cut open a donkey. Like the white man's such a goddamn foul beast, which is why I'm surprised y'all got Muhammad as the white man. They had a game called the Donkey Devil, where um the white man would cut open a donkey, get inside it, and chase niggas. Like when I
Mhm.
go like in this book,
But
Slave Narrative.
that's off
Yeah.
that's off the point. Let's get back to the messenger being white.
Okay. Yeah. So back to my original.
So
Step, well, my
let me
original. No, I just can I rephrase the. Excuse me. Restate the question, and then you got it. So my question was, don't you think it's spiritually oppressing for the Christians to have us looking at a white man to get our spirituality, and then the Nation of Islam have us looking at a white man to get our spirituality, when we should have our own face to look at to get to God?
So
That's the question.
did you hear what I said earlier, right? Because it seemed like you kind of selective hearing. So if I told you that the Honorable Elijah Muhammad said that Prophet Muhammad of 1400 years ago was a white man, and we put him up as a sign of the real Muhammad. You heard me say that, right? Did you hear me say that?
No, I didn't hear the real Muhammad. Nope. Never heard you say real Muhammad. So there's
Well,
two
yeah,
Muhammads?
listen to what I said.
Okay.
Yeah, and not what I said. I'm gonna put the link of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad saying this. That's why I asked you if you was familiar with the teachings of the NOI, because you usually anybody that feels like they need to debate it or dispute with it are pretty well studied about what they're disputing about. So if you're not really well studied, then that's why I wanted to just lay it out as our argument. I would want you to question me instead of judging or accusing or falsely accusing and unfortunately slandering, because your accusations are actually false. I would rather just you ask me the questions or whatever, and I answer them. But as a messenger, like if you're trying to make um, the sender equal with the sent, like if you're a black man, you're a black righteous man, and you know your general, whoever is superior to you, is sending you some divine information, and for whatever reason, he takes it to the post office, and the mailman that delivers it to you is white. Are you worshiping a white messenger because he delivered that message to you?
Are they in the same organization?
I don't understand what you mean. It's a yes or no question. So are you worshiping a
rephrase the
white?
question?
Are you worshiping a white mailman? If the mailman brings you anything that you like or don't like or whatever, are you thankful to the mailman? Like, how do you feel about that mailman?
I don't even think of it. The mailman is irrelevant to me.
Okay, well, what is a messenger of God?
A messenger of God, according
What is
to
a messenger?
a messenger of God, according to Israelites, is one that is delivering a message directly from God. So it is relevant. It could never be irrelevant.
Right. So God never chose a white person to deliver none of his messages.
No.
Say that again.
No, you can show me.
Right. No, I'm just saying that's what you believe, right?
Well, if you could show me in the if you could show me in the Bible where the white man.
No, it's not about me showing you. I just want the people to hear what you believe versus what we believe.
Well, the
Right.
reason why, so and it's important that you said what I believe versus what you believe, because you believe more in what is said to you without textual evidence or any historical backing. Whereas when I believe in the Most High, it's based on a text. Like my general can't say God said this from the past and not show me what God said from the past. So that messenger, like for example, Galatians 1, this is how important the messenger is, right? When you say, when you use the mailman analogy, this is Galatians 1, and this is I'm gonna read verse 6 through 8, right? It's just three
Right.
verses. And it says, I marvel that ye are so soon removed from him that called you unto the grace of Christ unto another gospel, which is not another, but there are some that trouble you and would pervert the gospel of Christ. But though we or an angel from heaven preach any other gospel unto you than that which we have preached unto you, let him be accursed. So what that tells us, if anybody brings any belief to us outside of this book, Genesis to Revelations, they're a curse to us. So the mailman can't deliver a message that's outside of the realm of Genesis to Revelation. Otherwise, he's a curse.
Do you believe that God created evil?
Not in the sense that most people believe.
Not, I
Most
mean,
people,
in any sense. If Isaiah says, talk about the Lord speaking, I created evil. I make peace and create darkness and light, and I create evil. I create, not I created. I create means present tense. I create evil. I, the Lord, do all these things. You said that evil doesn't mean evil.
no, I said that evil doesn't mean what people think it means. It,
What that's a people word. That's a people definable dictionary word. So what other type of evil is there?
okay, the reason why I said it because nobody really understands the Bible. Nobody. So in Isaiah 45:7, when he says, I form the light, I create darkness, I make peace and create evil. I, the Lord, do all these things. The evil that he's talking about is his judgments and punishments on the people for their disobedience. The evil is not what we do and that we try to blame God for. The evil is if you think you can disobey God, he going to punish you. If you think you're going to be good to God, you made peace with him. That's the good and evil that he's talking about. But most people don't know that. Most people are ignorant to the
What
understanding of the Bible.
Right, right. And that's your interpretation, right? Um, and you say you believe you believe that God created the devil?
Are
The
you talking
devil
about
is
the white?
here.
Are you talking about the white man or the angel? And the reason why I ask you these questions before I answer is because a lot of Christians and some Muslims have a total misunderstanding of what the Bible is talking about in terms of devil, angel, God, Jesus,
So
etc. So
so
when you talk,
you believe that the white man is the devil, though, right?
I do,
So
I do.
did God create the devil?
Yes, God created the white man. He was born from Isaac and Rebekah, two black people.
So God creates evil, and he created and still creates the devils, right?
So you're charging the evil that the white man does to the Most High?
You asking me a question. I'm like,
Okay, my bad. Go ahead and ask your
no,
question
no,
again.
I asked you, I was waiting for your answer.
No, can you just say it again? Because I don't want to answer it with a question.
So the Bible says God creates evil, and you're saying that and agreeing that God creates or created devil, right?
Right, but the word devil is not owned. Okay, let me say it. Make sure I say it properly. When we say the white man is the devil, Christ said in John 8:44, "Ye are of your father the devil." He's calling black people devils when he make that statement. He's not talking to a white man when he makes that statement. So the devil is not assigned to just the white man. It just fits him. Just like the beast. When you brought up the term beast and you said the mark of the beast was the white man, in the Bible, the beast is not just the white man. So the devil is just not assigned. The word devil just means deceiver. That's what the word means. So the
Mm,
white man is the deceiver or the best deceiver. That's why Genesis, the third chapter, when it says the serpent was more subtile than all the beasts of the field. So the other beasts were subtile too. They just wasn't as subtile as this one. So I wouldn't say that the Most High made the white man to be that because we can all be deceiving.
is
But the
the
white
is
man wears it. The white man wears it. We talked about this yesterday when I said that vessel of dishonor fits on the white man like a well-tailored suit. It don't fit on us like it fits on them. Just like righteousness fits on us like a well-tailored made suit, it doesn't fit on them right. That's the difference.
right? Do you believe that God or the Lord, the righteous Most High God, is all knowing, that He knows the past, present, and the future?
Yeah, you asked me this yesterday.
No, because I'm circling back because
Mhm.
this is some of the directions that I planned to go in, but I had to leave. Do you believe
Yes.
that God is all knowing? He knows the
Yeah.
past, present, and the future.
Yeah. We just don't believe him. We don't believe he's
Yeah,
all knowing.
whether we believe him or not, he
Hmm.
already knows what's going to happen before it happens, according to
And
that belief, right?
right. And before whatever happens, he tells us what to do so that we don't either suffer what is going to happen.
Right. So according to that, the story of Moses, when the flood hit and all of that, if he already knew what was going to happen, and he's the same yesterday, today, and forever, and he's the all-knowing, why would the Bible say that he repented? It grieved him, had his heart, and he repented that he ever made man on the earth, and then he wiped those people out. Why, if he knew what they was going to do, why would he say he repented and grieved with emotions and had to wipe them out instead of just being able to turn them to what he wanted them to be? Because he still had to impose some kind of force on them.
Well, to be textually accurate, this is not Moses. This would be Noah. Moses didn't exist here in the flood, because you said Moses.
Oh, my bad. Yeah, I mean Noah.
Yeah,
I thought I said Noah.
No. So when you talk about this, right, when it says it repented and it grieved him at his heart, the Lord is a man of war. So the Lord being angry is not. I mean, what is unlawful about that? I don't understand.
No, if he's already the all powerful, that no creation can give him that, should be able to give him that much of a problem, right?
It wasn't a problem. It was so
it wasn't
much.
A problem.
No,
if he
it
says
wasn't.
it grieved, listen to the. Can you read it? Can you read the verse?
I have it right in front of me.
Yeah,
I have it right
read
in
it
front
for
of me.
us.
This is Genesis 6, and I'm gonna start at 2. I'm gonna read 2, and then the verse that you mentioned is
Right.
verse 6. It says that the sons of God saw the daughters of men, that they were fair, and they took them wives, all of which they chose. And the Lord said, my spirit shall not always strive with man, for that he is also flesh, yet his days shall be 120 years. I'm gonna drop to verse 5. And God saw the wickedness of man was great in the earth, and that that every imagination of the thoughts of his heart was only evil continually. Verse 6. And it repented the Lord that he had made the man on the earth, and it grieved him at his heart.
All right, stop right there. Read that sentence again.
And it repented the Lord that he made the man on the earth, and it grieved him at his heart.
And what did he do to the people?
Verse 7. And the Lord said, I will destroy man, whom I have created from the face of the earth, both man and beast, and the creeping thing, and the fowls of the air, for it repented me that I have made them. So
does that sound like he is the same yesterday, today, and forever, and that he was all knowing, or does that sound like he got disappointed and caught by surprise?
No, it sounds like he's an actual God that can destroy and then build up again. So now
it said that God saw, and God saw that their heart was continuously this. He already supposed to know that, right? So he already supposed to know what they was going to do.
You know how good he was at knowing it? Did he give them instructions?
We're not arguing that. We're talking about
Wait. But that's important. So I'll just teach it then, so that we don't avoid interrupting each other, right?
Right.
Because he clearly gave them instructions. He told Adam, of every tree you may eat, but the knowledge of good and evil ye shall not eat, lest you die.
Right.
So he told them. So now this is when I'm slightly disappointed that you asked this question in this regard. It shows the lack of accountability that man wants to recognize in the Bible, and always trying to find fault with God when it's really us.
No, I'm not trying to find fault with God. I'm proving the fault in the Bible.
That's like 3 now, Cam. That's like 3.
Oh man, okay.
That's
my
like
bad.
3.
Okay. I can't say nothing. We're gonna play this back. We're gonna play this back.
Yeah,
though,
play it back.
And when we're gonna show what you did to me the same way.
I tell you what, going forward, I won't point it out anymore. I would just allow us to get in there in pockets as we see fit. I only did that because that's how you wanted it. So now, we look at it like we want to find fault with God. When God is telling you what he's going to do, if you do good, he's going to bless you. If you do bad, he's going to punish you. Just like any father knows what their children are going to do, that's why you give them rules. You give
any
them
father don't know what their children is going to do.
Yes, they do.
No, they don't.
You know your kid. That's
Absolutely
why you try
false.
to tell your. That's why you tell your kid, don't go
Absolutely
down the street
false.
with them. Don't go down the street with them. So
Absolutely
now,
false.
God gave Adam and Eve instructions.
So now you're saying we're equal with the knowledge of God. First, you say that we're not equal with knowledge of God because hold on, God is all knowing.
I didn't
We're
say
not
that
all
today.
knowing. We're fathers. I
I didn't.
don't know what my son gonna do, but the God that we're claiming that you said is all knowing and knows everything already, right?
I know exactly what my see. You looking at it like so minuscule, and that's why I said nobody understands the Bible, right? I would just say except us, because you're looking at it so minuscule. You're looking at it like I don't know if he's gonna go to sleep. I don't know if he's gonna go to the bathroom. We're not talking about that. We talking about his spirit, his vibe, and so the Lord gives rules to the humans or to man or to Adam at that time. If you obey the rules, you'll get the best. You disobey the rules, you're going to get punished. So it's not whether he knows or not. That's the wrong way to even look at it. And that's what man does. Man want to look at how can we blame God so that I could be evil? We supposed to say, I would have never gotten punished if I would have obeyed God. It goes back to the unclean food. We was having a conversation about the unclean food. Leviticus, the 11th chapter, tells us what you're supposed to eat. And my answer to you was, we just supposed to obey it because God said so. Man comes and says, well, I need to know the real reason. Like that's not, just not good enough. So it's not a matter of God knows. God does know. You know who don't know? We don't know. And you can see examples of that because here's in Genesis, the 3rd chapter, when they got punished for disobeying God, God was going to leave them in the garden. And what did the angels say? Behold, he has become one of us, knowing good and evil. Because now what did he learn? He learned how bad it was to disobey God. That's what the knowledge of good and evil is. So now he would just be good and he would just obey. And so he had to be put out so he can suffer the punishments. So in Genesis, the 6th chapter, you notice in the very first verse, it's like, okay, excuse me, in the very next verse, he says, and the Lord said, I would destroy man. It wasn't that vexing. It wasn't that vexing to the Lord because the very next verse, he just said, man, I'll wipe everybody out and I'll restart with Noah. And then he made a promise to Noah. He said, I won't destroy the earth by water again, but I
Right,
will
by fire.
destroy it by fire.
So now let me jump in now. Right. So would you say there's a difference between being punished and being destroyed? If you be destroyed, you ain't gonna learn no lesson, right? Because you're not there to live to learn nothing, right? So
I would say it's
he
easier to
didn't
learn
punish
from being.
he didn't punish the people of Noah. He destroyed the people of Noah, and the only one was left was Noah, and Noah wasn't the one that did wrong.
Actually,
So hold on.
mm-hmm.
So there's a difference between punish. Like if my children do disrespect me or whatever, like I expect them to, I'm not going to kill them. So I'm not going to destroy them. I'm not going to wipe them off the face of the earth. I'm not going to be so upset with the children I made that I'm supposed to already know what they're going to do, that they're going to grieve me at my heart, and I'm going to repent that I ever made them, and then I'm going to destroy them. That's not a punishment.
He was actually patient with him.
That's
because
you're still going somewhere else. You're still not acknowledging what I'm saying. You're not acknowledging what I'm saying.
You're saying he went straight to destroying them. I said he was actually patient. I'm going to read it in the same chapter.
But listen to me. Like I gave you a whole like little thing, and I'm trying to get you to answer this, right? I'm talking about you. If you want to go to the book, that's cool. But the book don't prove the book.
You brought us to the book.
Huh?
You brought us to the book.
But I'm showing you how the book has to be founded or proved by actual provable reality, right?
And I'm going to prove it with you. You said, is there a difference between punishing and destroying? Because you saying
I'm saying you. So you don't know that.
Show you where he.
Listen. Time out. Here's a question, right? Just direct question, because I'm not looking at no books, right? If I ask you, do you, Brother Tazaryach, do you say or do you recognize there's a difference between punishing and destroying? Like you have a son that disobeyed you, you're going to destroy him, meaning that you're going to delete him forever. He ain't going to learn nothing from that because he's deleted. Or are you going to punish him to where he survives and learns a lesson and he's hurt, he got wounded because he got whatever. Do you as a man know the difference between those concepts?
Yeah, Yes, I do. I would punish
Okay.
first, destroy second. You remember yesterday?
So you would destroy, you would delete your son
No, I said I would punish first, destroy
and
second.
then and delete second.
I'm gonna give you an example.
All
Yesterday,
right.
when you asked this question, I said, when you have your child, if your child is constantly disobeying you, I use this example because this was what I had to tell my mother one time. My brother kept not listening to her, and every time he would go to jail, she would bail him out every single
Right.
time, and then she would levy out whatever punishment or discipline. And so I told her, I said, the next time he does that, do not bail him out because you're not teaching him a lesson. And when she didn't bail him out and he had to sit in that prison, when he came home, he never went back to jail. So you got punishing. My mother would punish him, and then my mother destroyed him by letting him sit in jail. So I'm showing you in Genesis 6:3, before he punished him, Genesis 6:3, it says, and the Lord said, my spirit shall not always strive with man, for that he is also flesh. That striving is the sons of God were giving time to repent. There was punishment in there. That's the striving, me telling you what you do. You ain't supposed to do this, me giving you punishments. And then at some point, now the Lord can destroy you. And that's why I said what this proves is that he's a God. Because if God chooses to destroy, he said, I wound, I heal, I kill, I make alive, and there's no God with me. So who are we to argue with God? Who are we to say, God, you shouldn't have done that? God, you can't do that. I
That's
wouldn't.
exactly that's it. It's not argue. We're supposed to question God. That's
Mm,
what so many Christians, and I don't
mm.
know if that's what you believe. You believe that you're not supposed to question God.
For our disobedience? No.
I didn't say for disobedience. I said
No, I'm
for
being
whatever.
specific. I'm being
For
specific.
well, like I said, if let's use this example. In the book of well, let me leave that alone for a minute. I'll save that. Because it's not my channel, and I got to be kind of careful
Oh,
of
okay.
where I go with it.
No, unless we like, just to give you like we can't say certain words. Like I try to avoid certain words myself.
Yeah,
I usually say essay if it's something like
yeah.
motivated like that. So I learned how to say like different type of words. Like I'll say community if I'm talking about, the lifestyle. So
Yeah,
there's
yeah.
ways that you can get around saying it. But
So
before you on this subject, because I know you say you're gonna switch it. The last thing I want to say, the Bible also says God does not enjoy the punishing of the wicked. He would prefer that they repent, and he gives them time. Ecclesiastes 8:11, it says, because sentence against an evil act is not executed swiftly, it's in them to do evil. So the Lord gives time for you to repent. We
mhm.
just choose not to repent, and we always look at questioning God. We should never question God. We got to question ourselves. You can only
Well,
fix
I
yourself.
just yeah, that's why I just asked you. I just literally asked you that. Like I said, you don't think that we should question God even in anything. Like
Well, I was specific on our disobedience.
so I mean that's if you know you was disobedient, but you dealing with a people that have been robbed from the knowledge of themselves for 400 years. We
Isaiah
don't even
4 and
know who the
6.
real God is, right? So
Right.
we still, according to that, we still, to some people's belief, we still get punished, we still get SA'd and abused as children. God still let all kind of crazy stuff happen to us, right?
God
But
ain't letting it happen. We letting it happen. God's not letting
so
it
are we
happen. We letting
God?
it happen. No, but we letting it happen. When
So,
a
but
child gets
let
when
me
a
stay on the
wait,
track. Let me stay on track.
can
Let
I
me
just
stay on
say
track.
something to that real fast? When we get essayed in the community stops the justice. The child gets essayed, goes to the parents stop the justice,
No, we're
and
not
we want
talking
to
about
blame
after.
God.
We're not talking about after the fact, though. We're talking about who let it happen in the first place.
The person that still let that man or woman that they know does that stay in the
You.
community.
That's after the fact. That's after the
That's
fact.
not after the fact. It's a
We're talking
and
about why would the God let it happen in the first place? God says He creates evil, right?
right. That's talking about punishments. That's not talking
That's your
about what a man
interpretation. The
does.
Bible don't say that. The Bible don't say that. It's
So
talking
it's
about
almost
punishment.
like saying we can't help
No, no,
what we
stop.
do because
Let's
God
address
made
this.
us
Let's
that
address
way.
this. Let's address this. Does the
Mhm.
Bible say in that verse He's only talking about punishments when it says, "I create evil. I do all these things"? Does it say, and I'm only talking about punishments regarding evil?
Well, when he says it, he don't just say, the verse doesn't just say I create evil and that's it.
Read it.
The verse says I form the light and create darkness. I make peace and create evil. Now, when you read the verses above that, it talks about us being disobedient and to repent. And he's telling us to repent because he forms the light. He creates darkness. We're in darkness
And
because
he creates evil.
I'm gonna get to that part. We're in
That's the
darkness.
only part we talking about.
But the context, like when you just jump to that one word, that's why I say nobody knows the Bible except us, because when you want to focus on that one word, you miss the context because you're asking me, does that verse only mean I create evil as a judgment? So I can't just answer you and just say, yes, I have to give you the
you can. It's just you won't. What is the context of devil?
It depends. Well, devil always means deceiver. It just
So who
depends on
made
what
the devil? Who made the devil?
It depends. Are you talking about the angel or are you talking about the
You
angel?
don't know. Whatever devil you understand. Who made it?
Well, I mean, Isaac and Rebekah made Esau, who became the devil that
So
we call
God
today.
didn't the righteous God, creator God didn't make the devil.
You know, you just asked me this like 20 minutes ago.
And I'm going back over.
Oh, okay, no problem. So I'm gonna answer it the same exact way. The word devil is not confined to Esau or the white man. The word devil can be applied to anybody that's a devil. Anybody can be
a devil, not the devil. So the devil cannot be identified.
No, the devil can. The reason why we call
who and what is the devil?
That if the reason why we say the devil is because out of everybody being devilish, he's exceptional at it, and that's the white man. The white man is exceptional.
So according to you,
hey, you know what I was about to say before you go, Ken? The white man's so exceptional at being the devil, your Gabriel made him your last prophet. That's how exceptional he is.
I agree. We're not arguing that part. We're arguing who made him. We're talking about who made him. We're talking about who made him, though. We're crazy or not, the devil exists, right? So whoever your God is either created him or whoever my God is created him because he's here, right? So anybody who was crazy or not, I'm not calling nothing that you saying crazy, but I can go there if you want me to. I can go into some crazy stuff now. I can ask you some questions that'll really look crazy.
You know, if you know anything about me, I don't mind any question. Questions don't bother me or crazy, you know.
But I don't call people's answers crazy.
I don't mean crazy like you crazy. It's crazy like me hearing it. Not like, okay, what would be better so you don't get offended?
No, I'm not offended. I'm just going to tag you back the same way.
You've been tagging. We've both been tagging. We've both been professionally tagging. Come on, Cam. We've both been professionally tagging.
But no, it's not. No, it's not. No, I ain't offended.
That's why I said professionally. There's a difference. Right. There's a difference. We haven't disrespectfully tagged, but we have professionally tagged each other. You throw your little professional shots, I throw mine. That's why we can have this conversation and others can't. So give Cam a hand. So I can still say crazy, then we good.
Yeah, you can say crazy, but I'm just putting it out there because you know.
But if you say something crazy, like if you bring out something that we teach and then you say that's crazy, I'm gonna just be like, hey man, I'm gonna be just like you. Hey, that's what we teach.
Right. So and I'm into the words. You know, we from the Nation of Islam, and Malcolm X is one of the best examples of that. I'm putting this in the chat right here. This is the etymology definition of the word crazy, right?
Wait, let me go to it. Let me make sure I go to it. You put it in the chat?
There you go.
All right, hold on. Let me look at it.
It's on the screen.
Crazy. Disease, sickly, a sense now obsolete, 1580s, broken, impaired, full of cracks or flaws, from crazy meaning deranged, demented, of unsound mind. Okay, now we as black people are so much better than that. We say, like if I say you good, for example, and we look up the definition of good, it's not gonna mean what I said. Depending on how I said you good, it could be evil, it could be bad, it could be about health, it could be about laughter, it could be about anything. So when I say crazy, you know it had nothing to do with that. Now come on.
No, but that's our irresponsibility with words. right?
Wow.
We have to be more responsible, especially if we teachers of God's word and the concepts of God. We can't be loose and careless throwing words out there, even though I understand you. I don't take it personally, but somebody else watching that's not well studied or that's not most mentally and spiritually or emotionally mature as we are, they're going to take that and run with it. Just like how you or somebody took that Farrakhan said kinky hair was a curse. He never said that. I
He
explained
never
it.
used that word, but he did say
Khaled
we
never
was
said
rejected.
that. Khaled, not at all. Khaled never said that.
Malcolm
Master
X,
Fard
Master Fard Muhammad's father was white, and he
never
did.
said that.
Listen, somebody called me last night and said, if you go on Ben, I didn't go, but if you go on
Right.
Ben X page, he has the video of Khaled saying
I
that.
have the video. I had a video on my desktop right here.
Okay, no problem. But
you
again,
see that though. So if somebody respects you and looks to you for accurate information and accurate communication, especially if you debating or disputing with somebody else, and they trust your word because they know you so well studied and your thing is on gospel code, like my word got to be right and exact. And I'm telling you 2 or 3 things that you said about me or this organization since we've been talking that was false, that was incorrect. Right.
The only thing I know of is the word curse, and I wasn't wrong about what Khalid said. He was wrong. I was not
So
wrong.
he said it. Did you
Yeah.
produce the?
I didn't. Once again, a brother called me. I didn't look it up because once you told me that Elijah Muhammad is on video saying that Fard's father was white. As I said yesterday, I just yielded to that. I didn't have to. That didn't matter to me. If
No, I'm
Khalid,
not talking. But if you still bringing it up right now, but you saying I didn't research, I didn't look it up. Somebody told
you brought that up though. I didn't bring that up.
About Khalid?
Just today, you brought that up. I didn't bring that up. You brought up Farrakhan. You said
No,
that
I'm talking about when you originally said it. It's like 5,000 people have seen that already.
But I yielded. If they listened to the conversation in that same dialogue, I yielded and said, okay, well, I didn't yield that he didn't say it. I yielded that Elijah Muhammad would trump Khalid. I did
But
yield to
you
that.
still said it. That's what I'm saying. So you
I
still said it.
stand by that Khalid say it though.
But do you produce the proof?
No, but I will. Since you said that, I will.
That's what I'm saying. Does that not seem irresponsible though, bro?
If you was offended by it, like, see, the thing.
No, I'm
about
not.
us,
I'm only offended if you don't produce what you accuse.
Well, see, when we had the conversation yesterday, and I yielded to what you said, Elijah Muhammad said, I thought it was over. So when the brother called me last night, told me where it was at. Now I could have went and looked for it. The reason why I didn't is because in my mind we were straight. Once I said,
No, we are straight, but for the record, anytime just between me and you and any Muslim that you might deal with, whatever you accuse them of or accuse the nation of the information, bring the receipt right there. They're not going to get offended. And if they do, they're not in the right grade level with you. Just bring whatever.
It wasn't important to me to look up once I yielded to you saying Elijah Muhammad said that his father was white. I didn't care about it no more. But had I have known that you would have brought it up again, I would have, excuse me, I apologize. I would have brought it and then played where he said it. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, and I understand that, but I'm just telling you for from here on out, whenever you're dealing with, I would say anybody, but especially in the nation, actually bring the clip, bring the audio.
Yeah, if I would have said it again, I would have had to bring like for the Farrakhan thing. He didn't say curse, but he said we was rejected by the gods. That is a statement that he says in that clip.
Yeah. He said rejected, and that's because Shabazz rejected the gods first. Do you understand that?
Okay, I don't know if he says that in the clip, but I do know that. I don't know.
But that's the clip. The clip is 2 minutes or something. So if we're irresponsible and lazy, if we're not going to the whole thing, just like how you said we supposed to go into the context of that Bible verse. If I say he said, I create evil, but you're like, no, let's read before that. Let's go before that. Okay, so if you're gonna bring something out like a video clip, shouldn't you go before that and after that and give the full context?
Yeah, we can, but in the clip that is played, all I'm saying is he said that we was rejected by the gods.
Did he say cursed? But he didn't say curse, right?
No, I said that. I said he didn't say curse. He said we was rejected by the gods, and
But
that's why we
originally
had.
you said cursed, right?
And I didn't have a problem correcting myself yesterday. When you go back to it, I didn't
Right.
argue with you. Like I didn't.
But
If you say something, and I say no, it ain't like that, and you correct yourself, I'm not gonna bring it up later because you corrected yourself.
no,
So
I'm bringing it up as an article of history, meaning that if you did already do that, that proves that you're capable of doing that. It don't mean that you had
I'm
no
capable of doing
ulterior.
what?
No, I don't mean that you had no malicious motives, but you're capable. You prove that you will give false information in a
I don't
debate
give fault. Well, this ain't a debate. This is a
or
discussion.
a
As far as
discussion
I know,
or a
we was
discussion.
debating. It'd be different, very different. This is just a discussion. And so, because if this was a debate, I would play the clip. So we're both just freestyling. So in freestyle, I can
Well,
say a word that's not there. Like for example, you just said Moses was in the flood. I didn't
yeah, well,
say
that was a
now we.
mistake. That was clearly a
Thank you. So
mistake.
me saying curse could also be the same mistake as you saying Moses in the flood. And when I said to you, it's not Moses, it's Noah, you said, oh, I thought I said Moses. When you said to me it
Right.
didn't say curse, I yielded. The only difference is you harping on it to make it my character, and I'm not harping on it for you to make it your character. That's the difference. You see the difference there?
Well, I see the difference that you're trying to make, but yes, sir.
That
Yes,
that's
sir.
that's just a perfect slip of the tongue, saying a word that's not there. You walk right
So
into
you
that.
saying curse was a slip of the tongue?
Yeah, because if I would have played the tape, I wouldn't have said the word curse. I would have said what he said, but I ain't played that tape in years, maybe 2 or 3 years. So I'm just going off of memory and thinking that if you talk about my hair, it's a curse. But when we get to it, just like you probably going off memory when you said Moses was in the flood, and Moses wasn't in the flood. Noah was in the
Right, but
flood.
we saw that clearly was a. But yeah, okay, I get you. So let's
Now, if I
continue.
argue with you, like, yeah, he said curse. No, he definitely said curse. Now you can say, Cap, you're not being, you got to pull it and prove it. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, I'm live. I'll be done in a little bit. So that's the difference there. All of this over the word amazing. I mean, crazy.
Yeah, because that's a powerful word. That's a powerful word if it's
We
coming
black
from
though, man. We say that's
this.
crazy.
No. Because
Man.
if you say that, then I'm gonna say that, and I'm trying not to say that because
But it ain't
the,
gonna
the,
bother me because it's gonna make me look at the context. And if you disrespectful, then yes. If I'm disrespectful, then yes, I get it. But I wasn't saying it.
okay.
Now, if you was offended, I won't say it again. But you would have to. Are you offended by me saying crazy? Because I won't say it
No,
again.
I'm not at all offended. Only thing I would be offended or insulted is if you make accusations that you're not providing immediate proof for.
I didn't make no accusation today
No,
without
I'm
any.
just saying if you make any accusations against the nation or against this information and you don't have the receipts right there for it, then I would be offended by that.
Fair enough. I mean, I haven't,
Yeah.
and I have not done that today.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying
Yeah, I
that.
just don't want that to be presented as my character because it's not. So
Right,
I'm not known for that. I'm known for bringing the evidence. But anybody
right,
can misspeak. That's not a
right.
Tazaryach or Cam
Absolutely.
thing. That's anybody. Um,
Absolutely.
when you made mention of Malcolm, right?
Right.
Here is a question that I wanted to ask. I noticed when Malcolm, Farrakhan, Khalid, whenever they would want to make, and I don't know how you look at Khalid because I know Khalid, was with the nation, but then he left. So there's a time before he passed that he was a part of the new Black Panther Party, that he
Right.
wouldn't have been a part of the nation. So I don't know if you look at the stop when he left as a time that he's gone. But what I notice is that they would all say that we are the children of Israel. Malcolm said it
Mhm.
with the Valley of Dry Bones. Farrakhan said we are the children of Israel. So my question is, if we are the children of Israel, why are we following the Arabs' religion instead of the religion or spiritual system of the Israelites?
What let's get into that. What do you say is the Arabs religion, and if you're saying if it's Islam instead of following um the religion of the Israelites, so you saying, and I don't want to get into the semantics because we both yesterday said that we don't follow no religion, right?
Yeah, we don't follow no religion. I would say spirituality,
Right. So I
or
that's
if
what
you
I'm saying.
want
I
to
got to
say
be
culture, if you want to
right.
say culture,
Way of life,
way of
lifestyle,
life, yeah, way of life, yeah, right.
right?
Mm-hmm.
So you're saying why would we follow Arab way of life, not culture, but Arab way of life instead of Israelite way of
Yeah,
life?
what I said before that is so Malcolm said we the Israelites, Khalid said we the Israelites, Farrakhan said we the Israelites when they speak.
The Honorable Elijah Muhammad said that. He's the first
Okay,
one that said,
okay, no problem. So four
right.
prominent Muslims said we the children of Israel. The children of Israel said not to serve no other gods, and there's a way of life conducive to the children of Israel. So why
Mhm.
wouldn't we follow why do we follow why do y'all teach us to follow the Arab way of life instead of the Israelites way of life if the most prominent members of the Nation of Islam said we are the Israelites? It's like y'all
Because
put us into a second class citizenship.
well, that's your interpretation. This is about God. This is about theology. This is about proving who and what God is. Everything else is secondary. Everything else falls into insignificance. So that's why I wanted to talk with you and to let the people see who you can prove or who you believe, who, what, where, when, how God is, right? Because everything else is about how we worship God. Are you saying that we don't we're supposed to worship no other God? Okay, let's identify who the God is, period, in the first place. You say he's not a man, you say he's a spirit, you say this or that.
I didn't
Let's
say he
stay
wasn't a
on
man.
let's stay on that subject. Let's stay on identifying, and this is where the crazy thing come in at, right? The definition of crazy. If we're gonna say what's crazy, that's crazy. So we're supposed to believe and put our life on the line and give our whole soul, mind, spirit, body, everything to somebody's uh, description or belief in a God that they cannot show no evidence for. They can give no specific identity of. That's crazy to me.
You didn't answer my question though. My question was, if they're telling us that we're the children of Israel, why
Mm-hmm.
are y'all bringing us into the culture of the Arabs instead of the culture of the Israelites?
The
The children.
original air, so the original Arabs, the original people of this whole planet are black. You're trying to start in um, Abraham's children. We in the nation don't start with Abraham's children. We don't even start with Abraham. We start with the God or the God people before there was ever such thing as Abraham or Noah or Adam. You understand? We don't believe that. We don't our interpretation of the Bible is not your interpretation of the Bible. So our interpretation of the Bible, like I said yesterday, is that we are the original God nation of this planet. And we said, let us make a new man in our image and after our likeness and give them power and dominion to rule of this and that. And this. And that's talking about the white race. The original black people are the God, the originators. That was the plural, the us and the we and the our that the Bible is talking about. So we don't start our genealogy or our religion, our faith or whatever with Abraham that came 2 or 3,000 years later, or Ishmael that came even later than that. Our nature, our way of life is Islam before Abraham, before Noah, before Adam, before everybody.
Okay, but you're still not answering my question
I
because
thought I answered it.
so are we not the children of if we go before the children of Israel, then we not the children of
The
Israel.
children of Israel is for in a period of time. So if we the children of Israel, that means we fulfill the prophecy of 400 year slaves, right? That's how we identify ourselves today, right? That's how we can even find out if who we are because we fulfill that part. Anything else, you wasn't alive, I wasn't alive.
No.
But the part that we can prove that we fulfill is that we just came out of 400 years of slaves in a strange land that's not ours, under a strange people that afflicted us for 400 years. That's the part we can prove, right?
No, but that's still not answering my question because if
Well, I don't
we're
know how to
not
answer it, brother.
meaning this, if we're not the Israelites, then whatever them 400 years don't apply to us. If we're not the Israelites today, you can't
Mm-hmm.
be a people for a time. Chinese people are Chinese people forever. Arabs are Arabs forever.
Mm-hmm.
Nigerians are Nigerians forever. So Israelites are Israelites forever. Their
What
race didn't.
Israel is Jacob. What was before Jacob?
His father Isaac.
Okay, why we ain't Isaacites?
Thank you.
Who was
Good
before?
question.
Who was before Isaac?
Abraham.
Who? Why we ain't Abrahamites? Who was before Abraham?
No, Nahor. Or
You know what I'm saying?
Terah.
So
I'm sorry.
we're gonna go all the way to Adam, right? But then I just told you we're the ones made Adam. Why would I name my religion after my children?
Here's why. So the Quran even references the children of Israel as being Allah's favorite. I mean, I don't see how that works. Me personally,
Because so this is let me if you don't mind, that's I wanted to touch on that. What makes us special is because of our suffering, is because of the 400 years that we went through, and what you mentioned the other or yesterday about mulatto-ness and you know, and after I asked you, was you like, you know, you light skin, you don't have no white people in your family. The vengeance and the justice that the God has in store for the people that did that. They did that to our mothers. They did that to our women and girls. They RAPE'd and all of that and produced a whole new kind of people. I heard you say something like Farrakhan's father is not black, you know, he's Jewish or white or something like that.
that's what he
How
said.
else, you know, if that's the case, how else could he be a pure example of what happened to our women and the products of these
His mother wasn't
hold
raped. His
on, hold
mother
on, hold
cheated.
on, hold on. This is serious. This is the reason God is said to destroy this whole world is because of what they did to our women, what they did to our little women and girls, and produced this new type of offspring made of black and white. That they was victims. The women was victims and the children is victims. They didn't claim them children. Thomas Jefferson had all these, you know, these founding fathers had all these little slaves, was running through them and producing us. That's why your skin is like, that's why my skin is like. We all have the devil in our blood for that reason, because of that. And God came to give vengeance on those people and to raise a person made out of that same material to do us justice.
Light skin doesn't mean you have white in you. And Farrakhan's scenario was not due to any essaying. As he said, his mother stepped out, and that's why he was treated different growing up. His mother stepped out.
We saying material.
You said what?
I said the specific material. If the
But
Bible says, you know, he came in sinful flesh to condemn sin in the flesh.
but that was two Israelite people that made Christ. Joseph being the physical father, Mary being the physical mother that physically made Christ. That has nothing to do with what we
So
talking
which
about.
one of they flesh was sinful?
When it says sinful flesh, it's not even literal. Flesh,
Oh, that's
flesh is
not literal.
no flesh. Listen, the scriptures say the law is spiritual, but I am carnal. When it talks about flesh, it's talk about what you desire to do. What you
And
desire
that's
to
your interpretation, right?
That's not my interpretation. That's what it is. The only way we know how to live, according to the Bible, is if we obey God. Now that's spiritual. Because if we
And who
live
is
how
God?
we God is Yahweh. He sits on his throne in the heavens. He gives orders. He have the angels come down here. He said of Christ as king, told the children of Israel, you are his chosen. We just choose to follow every other religion. But back to my original premise, if we are the children of Israel, and your leaders, your top four prominent ones, and I'm not taking away from any other brother or sister that was prominent in the nation, those just the four that I mentioned. They all said, we are the children of Israel. And if we are, not were, if we are the children of Israel, there's a
Right.
lifestyle, culture, and way of life that they're supposed to live. There's a God that they're supposed to serve. But y'all sent us to another God through a white man.
Who
Allah,
is the
his
white
name
man? Who is the white
Muhammad.
man?
Muhammad, the messenger is Muhammad.
We sent us to another God. What God did he
Through
send us to?
Yeah, Allah is a different God than the God of Israel.
According to who?
According, if we start with the names, the name
We're
of
not
the
talking
Arab,
about the names. You talking
I'm
to
gonna
me
bust
now.
it.
You talking to an NOI Muslim, right? So if I
Right.
spent the last 2 days telling you who Allah is, you're
But
gonna keep
Allah
referring back to
to
Arabs?
okay, so my fault for referring back to Arabs. So even if I go with what you're saying Allah is, Allah by name in the Bible, his name is Yahweh. So now we got two different names. The
Oh,
God
come
of
on, brother.
I'm
Come on,
look,
man.
I'm not done there. I just want to show you. Now you look at it as simple. But Psalms the 83rd chapter and the last verse says, "But thou whose name alone is Yahweh art the most high over all the earth." So if you love that God, you don't change his name. You keep his
That's
name.
changing his name.
Yeah, when you call him Allah, you just changed his name.
Okay.
That's
I
changing his
thought we
name.
was. I hear you. I thought we was above that, but I guess
Well,
I don't wrangle over names. I don't wrangle over.
here's what's more important. Isaiah 1 and 3 says, "The ox knoweth his owner, the ass his master's crib." If we don't know who owns us, how can we ever submit to the owner? So if the whole
Correct.
time we submit into this
Correct.
name of Allah and that's not his
No,
name,
no, sir. No, sir. We're not submitting to no name. I told you I identified who the
no
Allah
problem.
is.
If we're submitting to a God called Allah, but the real God
And
of
who is the God? Who is the God that I told you
you're
for the
saying
last 2
it's
days?
us. You're saying it's
And
us.
I asked you yesterday, is your God a black man? And you said what?
I said he's not a man like you and I because he's greater. I said he sits on a
He's,
throne, he has woolly hair, but he's greater than us. He's never
and you
been on
didn't
this planet.
concede that you probably believe that's a black man. You didn't concede to that.
I would say I would call him a black man. If I was arguing with somebody, I'd say we got a God, our
Right.
God is black. I would say that, but I wouldn't
So,
put
so
that.
the Allah that we believe in is a black man. The God that you say arguably is a black man. So we talking about two different people, though, right?
You and
We talking
I,
about two different guys now, right?
your name is Cam, my name is Tazaryach. That's two different people. And that's what I'm saying Allah and Yahweh is. When you go
Oh,
further
okay.
down, when you go further down to it, Yahweh said we have a Passover, Feast of Unleavened Bread, Day of Atonement, Feast of Tabernacles, Feast of Hanukkah. That's what Allah said. And then you have, excuse me, that's what Yahweh said. Then you have Allah, y'all have Ramadan. Y'all pray facing Mecca. We pray facing Jerusalem. Though culture and way of life are different. So they're not the same. Y'all circle that rock or that, excuse me, y'all circle that Kaaba 7 times. Our God said, don't work, you can't make an image to him.
What? How is that an image to him? And
Why are you
how we
circling
worship?
it?
I heard what you was about to say. You was about to say we worship that, and you said we make an
Yeah,
image
I'm
to him.
definitely gonna say you worship it because you circling it.
That's
And
worshiping it.
yes,
What do you
yes.
do when you do a feast or a Sabbath or whatever? What are you doing? Are you worshiping the Sabbath?
When we do a Sabbath, we
Yeah.
get up
Are
there
you
and
worshiping the Sabbath?
we are worshiping the Most High because we send prayers. We say Abanawa, Shabbat
Okay,
Shemayim,
the
Wadah,
prayers and all
Shaya.
of that's still rituals. That's still you're doing something. You're doing some
I'm
rituals, but you're not. Hold on, you're not worshiping the ritual, right? You're worship that the ritual is a form of demonstration of the worship of a god, right?
they definitely both
So
rituals.
are we worshiping the Kaaba and the Black Stone in Mecca?
Yes, because we're definitely worshiping that ritual when we go pray. We're
Okay,
worship.
let me give you.
Let me give you my
I ain't
point.
talking. I ain't talking. My
Okay,
bad.
and I'm gonna give you my point. My point is that Allah and Yahweh are worshipped differently. So they cannot be the same deity because they're worshipped differently. The records in the book for the children of Israel with with your elders and your leaders said to worship it this way and don't worship no other God. Once you pray facing Mecca, you have worshiped a different God to the God of Israel. Once you circle that rock, you have worshiped a different God to the God of Israel. So I'm telling you that they're not the same. So if Farrakhan, Malcolm, Elijah Muhammad said, "We are the children of Israel." Every time y'all have us pray opposite the way God told us to pray, you're bringing us to another God. And then that continues the disobedience that we have on this planet.
Right. So here's the etymology dictionary, the English etymology dictionary for the word worship. Worship, right? Condition of being worthy, dignity, glory, distinction, honor, renown, reverence paid to a supernatural or divine being. So, do we look at, according to your accusation, do we look at the Kaaba or the black stone or whatever you're saying? Do we look at that as a supernatural or a divine being? Yes or no?
Yeah.
You
Depending
do.
on who I speak to, they
You're
say it
speaking to
was.
me. You're speaking to me.
Well, then you would have to. So I don't want to say nothing, and you say, because I've heard some Muslims say that it's something Abraham resurrected, or some Muslims say it's a meteorite that fell. I hear.
We talking to me. That, like I said, please don't put me in the same category with
I
some other
don't. That's
type
why
of
I would have
Muslim.
you tell me what it is, and then I'll tell you, if based on what you tell me, if that's worship to me.
Right. I told you yesterday, just like you said with the Sabbath or any feast or anything that you do, that is a demonstration of how you're supposed to worship God or whatever. You're not worshiping the fish or the feast or the Sabbath or the such, and you're worshiping God, right? So I don't accuse you of worshiping the Sabbath or worshiping the feast or worshiping the altar or worshiping whatever the things that you have to set up and put in place. You have an altar, you have smoke and incense and whatever,
Right.
or lamb or whatever. I don't
Right.
accuse you of worshiping those things, right? Why would you
No, you
accuse
have.
us of worshiping those things?
Here's why it sounds like I'm accused. Excuse me. Well, I'm actually saying it because I actually am. And maybe
Mhm.
if that's offensive to you and you don't like the
No,
language,
it's not offensive. It's just we
well,
just proving our case.
no, but because I have a respect for you, I don't want to be too offensive, but I am going to explain to you why. In the
Yes, sir.
Bible, in Habakkuk, the second chapter, it talks about the dumb stone. I'm not talking about the Kaaba now. I'm just talking about what the book of Habakkuk says.
Right.
And it says, and it warns us about worshiping the dumb stone. That's what it
Mm-hmm.
calls it. Deuteronomy
Mm-hmm.
28 and 64 says that we would worship gods that neither thou nor thy father have known, even of wood and stone. So for us
Mm-hmm.
as Israelites, that primary wood is the Christian cross. That primary stone is the
Mm-hmm.
rock that they circle in Mecca. So for
Right.
us as Israelites, if you told me about Santa Claus, I would say you worshiping the idol. If you told me Mother's Day, I would say you worshiping the idol. If you told
Right.
me anything outside of what God told us to worship, and when
Right.
I'm saying about worship as a blanket statement, it's not as minuscule as saying we're not worshiping the rock, but you're doing that practice because Muhammad said to do it. You're praying facing Mecca because Muhammad said to do it. Just like we're going to the Sabbath service because Moses said to do it. We're
Right.
going to the Passover because Moses said to do it. So our worship is set up by the messenger that God sent. So
Right.
if God sent Muhammad, excuse me, if Allah sent Muhammad for y'all to do that, and it's totally opposite than what the God said to the children of Israel, you can't tell me that they're the same God.
Okay.
Or
I mean,
you would have to show,
I'm
or
not trying to. Yeah, I'm not trying to convince you. Whatever your belief is your belief. I just want the people to say that. I mean, to
Mhm,
see what we're talking about.
right.
So
Mhm.
so in the Bible says that I think Jesus is on this rock I build my church, right? You said we worship stones or whatever, but the Bible calls Jesus a rock or Peter or somebody or
He
and
called Peter the rock.
we're the stone that the builders rejected
That
is
the
going to be
stone
the
that the
head
builders reject.
stone in the corner.
Mm-hmm.
Are they
Mm-hmm.
guilty of worshiping rocks?
No, because
What's the difference?
what the Pharisees was building on was sand.
No. We're not talking about that. We're talking about God using the word rock and
Mm-hmm.
stone for
Mm-hmm.
His righteous nation, His righteous person that's going to be the foundation of His nation. So if it's the stone that the builders rejected became the
The head
headstone of the
cornerstone.
corner, right?
Mm-hmm.
But then you say we're worshiping, like we're acknowledging that scripture, you know what I'm saying? But you call it us worshiping that stone. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, definitely. And so when I'm gonna read the scripture, this is Matthew 7:26. It says, "Everyone that heareth these sayings of mine and doeth them shall be likened." And excuse me, everyone that heareth these sayings and doeth them not shall be likened unto a foolish man which built his house upon sand. So our house is not built on sand, because when you build, it's going to answer your question.
No. We recite the verses that I said. You said something that I didn't even say.
Oh, you talk about. Wait, let me get that first. It says when Christ said, "Upon this rock." Hold on, let me grab that for you.
Right.
Upon rock, I'll get it for you in 1 second. So this is in Matthew 16 and 18. And I say also unto thee, thou art Peter, and upon this rock I will build my church. And
So
the
is he
gates of,
calling Peter a rock?
it's a that's why I had went straight to Matthew, but you said,
No,
excuse
I'm
me,
saying, but
Matthew.
is he
No,
calling
Peter is not a physical rock. No.
right? And Jesus was not a literal rock, right?
No.
Because
No.
Jesus said, I'm like a stone, or if you fall on me, you'll be broken to pieces. If I fall on you, you'll be ground into powder. But they still comparing themselves with stones and rocks, right?
Yeah, because speaking in metaphors is not worship. We didn't build Peter didn't.
So rituals is not metaphors.
Yes, no, it's not. No, because when Peter read
What
the
is the Sabbath?
when
What is the Sabbath?
Sabbath is when you go and have a congregation of people say prayers to the Lord, read the Torah, go over the law. There is no
Sacrificing on altars? What is sacrificing on altars? That's not a ritual.
It absolutely is a ritual, but it's a ritual to our God. See, my argument
So
is not
going
that.
around the Kaaba is not a ritual to our God.
Yes, that's my. See, you think I'm arguing like what? I don't think you. I think you might be missing what I'm saying. What I'm telling you is that they're two different gods. They're not the same. That's all I'm
Okay.
arguing. I'm not
Oh,
going to
okay.
argue that they're rituals. I'm not going to argue that they're worship. The only thing that
Well, you
makes
said
it
we was worshiping that.
y'all worshiping. If you ask me if I worship the Most High, like if you circle a physical rock,
Right.
bow
But
down to it,
if you put animals on the altar and say prayers, you're
you're not
worshiping God.
worshiping. No, because you're sacrificing that animal to the God.
And the
Y'all,
God is going to eat the animal. Like does the animal go to God, or what are you
no, you
doing? What is
burning
that for?
you burning the animal. The
Why do you
animal is
have to burn an animal to worship God?
You're not burning the animal to worship God. The
What you
animal is
doing it
this.
for?
I'm about to tell you. The animal, the animal is your sacrifice to that God,
Why you don't just burn yourself and sacrifice yourself?
because he didn't say to burn yourself. It's just that
So that's
simple.
not a ritual. Oh, that's not a ritual. That's not crazy.
No, it's not
That's not
crazy.
crazy.
It is a ritual, and no, it's not crazy. But
That's
it
not
is,
worshiping rituals.
yes,
That's worshiping rituals, right?
yes.
So
And
y'all
my
are
point,
worshiping rituals.
no, we worship the Most High. That's what we worship. And
You
y'all
you doing
worship Allah. And all I'm simply saying is Allah is not the God that's in the Bible.
okay.
You would have to show me where Allah fits into the Bible to say that they're the same. Because if Malcolm, Elijah, and
Mhm.
Farrakhan say we the children of Israel, your teachings have us reject the God of the children of Israel, as opposed to
That's
accept
false.
the God.
No, that's false because
Well
we
then,
identified literally us as the children of Israel, that it didn't happen 4,000 years ago, and we identified the Moses, the Aaron, and the Jehovah and the God that met Moses face to face.
that's
Master
just
Fard Muhammad is the God that met Moses, the modern day Moses, face to face, and
say that part
revealed
again.
what he
You said
revealed. Hold on, hold on,
no, I
hold
didn't
on.
hear you. I said say that part again. I didn't hear you.
Oh, the Nation of Islam can identify and has clearly identified all of the characters of the children of Israel's story, the Bible prophecy. The Hebrew Israelite brothers only identify themselves. They only identify themselves as the children of Israel. They don't identify who Moses is, who Jehovah God is, who Aaron is, and how that is fulfilled. If we're fulfilling the actual literal 400 years that we just came out of slavery, then there's supposed to be a Moses and an Aaron and Jehovah that fulfills that part.
But that's not true
So
though.
that's not true.
No, we went over this yesterday. That 400 years was talking about Exodus. It was not talking about this time. Deuteronomy 28 and
It
68
was talking about
says,
Exodus.
yes, I read it for you. Exodus 12 and 48, when it says, I sojourned in there was 430 years. I read that. And then
Uh,
Deuteronomy 28, which comes after Exodus, said, in this captivity, no man will redeem us because Christ or the Most High is going to redeem us. That's what we talked about yesterday. But when you say the things that identifying is not how you accept being the children of Israel or the God of the children of Israel, doing what he says. Like when Ezekiel, excuse me, when Malcolm X did that Ezekiel speech on the Valley of Dry Bones. You're familiar with that speech, right?
if you give me some details, I'll probably
So
remember.
so there's a video. If you just look up Malcolm X Dry Bones, in the video, he uses Ezekiel the 37th chapter when he talks about you are those dry bones. You are the ones that's gonna come back to life. And he's as Ezekiel the 37th chapter is his reference. Well, when you read Ezekiel the 37th chapter, it says he breathed into them the breath of life. The breath of life is the laws of God. So if Malcolm is saying we the children of Israel in the valley of the dry bones, then the breath of life can only be what Moses said, what Christ said, what Ezekiel said. It cannot be what Allah said because the God of the Bible did not send Muhammad.
Well, I mean, that's your belief, brother. That's your belief. And that's what I want the people to hear. You know, I want them to hear your belief. Like we don't reject the Hebrew Israelite nation or Hebrew Israelite brothers. We don't reject none of our original people. But clearly, y'all reject our interpretation or theology or belief or whatever, and that's fine. I just want the people to hear for themselves that we can and will and do and have identified specifically all the characters and how we fulfill the scriptures. So you can disbelieve it, you can say that's crazy, but but if I ask
didn't say
you or
that was
somebody
crazy. I ain't
else,
say crazy again since
no,
you
no,
got
I'm just
offended by it.
saying I'm not really even talking about you. But since we talking, but if I ask you, who is your God and this and he's mystery and we don't know and he's not what we are and Jesus is supposed to be our example, but we can't say what he is or
What do
he
you
was
mean we
with
can't say
God in
what
the
he is?
beginning, huh?
What do you mean we can't say what he is?
You said Jesus Christ or whatever was with God in the beginning, but then he came again as a man through Mary. That's what you
And
say, right?
Joseph, through Mary and Joseph. He
Through Mary
came
and
through,
Joseph.
through
Right.
Joseph first.
So how was he the son of God before if he didn't have no mother?
So Christ, I'm screaming, we're all the sons of God right now. He ain't have sex to be our father. I'm talking about the Most High now. When it talks about the son, it's a metaphor of a relationship. Like Exodus 4 and 22 says, Israel is my son, even my firstborn. The Lord
So
didn't
you
have sex with Rebecca.
so you clearly interpreting. That's your interpretation, right?
That's not an interpretation, but if the
That's
Lord
the book says the sons of God saw the daughters of men that they were fair, right?
yeah.
So that's in Genesis. That's way before Jesus ever hit the scene. Jesus is never
Right.
even mentioned.
Right.
In Genesis, it's already talking about God had already sons, and these sons was
Those
able to
sons-
have sex. These sons was able to have sex with women that was already on the earth.
Yeah, that's
Right?
crazy right there. Okay. Well, you going
That's
into
crazy.
because that's Christian dogmatic teaching.
Okay, let's listen.
So
Hold on. Before we go there, just hear me out. Hear me out and pull that scripture up. Pull that scripture
You
up
know
that I'm
I
quoting.
am. Yeah, you know I am.
So it says that the sons of God saw the daughters of men, and this is
that
me
they were
freestyle. I ain't
fair.
looked at a Bible
No,
verse
you
yet. I ain't looked
saying
at a book.
you saying it pretty much straight.
Yeah,
They saw the
sons
daughters
of
of men. I
the
got it if you
sons
want me
of
to read it.
yeah. But I'm talking about the word sons. If we're gonna talk about, does the word sons mean sons, or you saying the word sons means something else, right? But it says
No,
the
I didn't
sons
say
of
the word
God.
sons means something else. The
The
sons
sons
of
of
God
God
saw the daughters
saw
of
the
men.
daughters of men that they
That
were fair, and
Mhm.
they took them wives, all whom they chose, or something like that, right? And
that's
they had
exactly
sex
how it
with them.
says.
They had sex with them, right?
Yes.
Right. So even if you saying these sons of
But
God
that's
was
not
really angels,
angelic beings. That's not
say that again.
angels. That's not angels.
So, but they was before Jesus.
before the
They was
flesh
already
and
sons of God. So if the Bible is listen, if the Bible is saying he so loved the world that he gave his only begotten son, right? As though you can be a son some other way than being begotten, right?
the only begotten is talking about his favorite. Like Christ was his favorite, like Israel is his favorite. That's what the
Okay,
only.
so but if that's true, that's great. That means God had sons way before Jesus ever was born, right?
In Genesis the 6th chapter, those sons is humans. They're not angels. Now
I
in
mean,
Job the first chapter, those are
whatever. No, I'm
angels.
saying whatever your interpretation. I'm saying what the book says. The book says
Yeah, he had.
the,
Yeah.
not
Mm-hmm.
some,
Mm-hmm.
definite article. The sons of God saw the daughters of men
Right.
and had sex with them, right?
Right.
So whatever the sons of God were before Jesus
Mm-hmm.
must have had penises and testicles,
Yeah, those
right?
men definitely have penises and testicles. Definitely,
But
those men.
was this before Adam and Eve?
This is after.
This is after.
Yeah.
So these sons of God was created after Adam and Eve.
No. So that and that's why I said this is very Christian dogmatic, meaning
I'm just asking questions, brother.
no problem. So in Genesis the first chapter, that's when mankind was created. In Genesis the second chapter is when Adam was given the breath of life. He's already alive. Eve is already alive. When Adam says, "This is bone of my bone, flesh of my flesh," that's family. You see that in Genesis the 29th chapter. You see it in 1st, 2nd Samuel 4:1. When the nation of Israel says, "Behold, we are thy bone and thy flesh." So they're already a tribe of people living. So in Genesis 4:26, that's when you first see that men started to call upon the name of the Lord and they became the sons of God. So in Genesis, the 6th chapter, when it says the sons of God saw the daughters of men, the problem that we have today, the problem we had before the flood, and the problem we have in Deuteronomy, the 7th chapter, is we were not supposed to mix with other nations. So the other women of the men. The reason why I'm saying sons of God is just like we say the children of Israel is not supposed to sleep with white women, not supposed to sleep with Africans, not supposed to sleep with Chinese. So those sons of God or Adam's line coming from Seth, they were not supposed to sleep with the daughters of men. And
Right.
instead, they chose to. And that's
Right.
how they became wicked. And because when you read the next verse, it says, "And God saw the wickedness of man." It doesn't say he saw the
Right.
wickedness of angels
Right.
because
Yeah,
angels wasn't there.
I'm not
But on the
disputing none of that.
concept, but on the concept of sons of God, I think if you, I think what you're saying is, or trying to convey to me is that if Jesus is the only begotten Son of God, where do these other sons of God come into play?
What? No, it's actually if you're saying that Jesus wasn't a God, right?
Yeah, Jesus is not. Yeah, he's
No,
never called his.
I didn't say the God. You said I asked you yesterday. I was trying to go further on that. You said Jesus is not a God, was not a God. So if it says ye are all gods, children of the Most High, it says that in Psalms, and then he says it again, like you read yesterday in the book where he's talking to whoever he's talking to. But it says it first in Psalms, right?
Psalms 82:6.
Right. So we're the Bible says we're gods, right? That means human beings are gods,
Right.
but then you saying that God is not a human being and Jesus is not a God, don't that sound kind of crazy?
Because when Psalms 82:6 it says, when it calls them gods, it immediately says, "But ye shall die like men." Because if anybody looks up the etymology of the word God, it just means angel, messenger, judge, ruler, authority. So any man in power could be called a God. So the reason why you hear me say Jesus is not a God is because he never took that title. He never said he was a God. He always said
It's not about what he said or not, or what he's told the people. But by definition, is he a God?
a God like what?
Never mind, brother. We can move on to something.
That it's important because context is everything. And here's why I say that. Because everybody on the planet Earth primarily believes that Jesus is God. That's what they believe. So when people say, or hear, if they was to hear me say Jesus is God, they would think that that's what I mean. And so I would rather go by what Christ said. Christ said, he that believeth on me, as the scriptures have said, out of his belly shall flow living water. So
But
who am I
he
to
also
go?
said we are gods, right?
Where did he say we are gods?
He didn't say ye are all gods.
He cut, I'm gonna read it again. He was
We talked about
cutting,
this yesterday. So you say
that's
he was
right.
just being sarcastic.
No, he was cutting them for trying to stone him. They accused him. What they
Did
did
he
was,
deny? Did he deny that ye are gods?
yes, I'm gonna tell. That's what. So they said. He said, "Why do you?" For time's sake, I ain't got to read the whole thing, but I'm gonna paraphrase it. He said, "Why are y'all stoning me?" He said, "Because that they said, thou being a man, makest thyself God." That's their accusation, that he's
Mhm.
making himself God. And Jesus
Mhm.
answered and said, "Is it not written on your law? I said, ye are gods." If he called them gods, he's not
Mhm.
referencing himself. If he called them gods, unto whom the word of God came, and the scripture cannot be broken, say ye of him who the Father have sanctified and sent into the world, thou blaspheme, because I say I am the Son of God. That's the
Mhm.
title he chose. He didn't
Mhm.
choose God. So if I'm gonna believe on him as the scriptures have said, I'm gonna call him the Son of God. That's what he said.
So according to just common sense, if you're a God, I mean, if your father is the God and you're the definite article son of God, that means you're not a God.
That means that you should be extremely careful about the titles that you pick.
You're not answering my question, my brother.
Say it again.
If you clearly understand that you're the son, the not a, you're the son of God, and you know that doesn't automatically by definition make you a God if you're the son of the living God.
If the Son of the living God doesn't say he's God, I'm not gonna call him God.
All right. Well, I'm an adult, so I know I can call him a God because you know if he can call other people the sons of God, but he can't even call himself a God, and he's the favorite, then I don't know what to tell you, my brother. Can you read Psalms 82:1 for me?
Yeah. It reads, God standeth in the congregation of the mighty, he judgeth amongst the gods.
Um, yeah, I just put it in the chat too. So the Bible is full of verses saying that ye are all gods, and
Bible called
um,
Moses a god.
right, exactly. He says he made him a god unto
Right,
Pharaoh, right?
right. Which is my
So
point.
if God, yeah, so if God does God not have the power to make us a god?
Yes. He made Moses a god, which is why I go back. The etymology of the word is power. Ain't so he made Moses a power, a ruler, a messenger.
Right.
He didn't make him him. And when
Hmm.
people take that word, here's the problem with God. Every black man want to be a god. If every black man is a god, who's the servant? Who gonna pick up the trash? Who gonna say "Khan out of
Well,
one
we're
con,"
not
which means?
arguing that. We're not
But that's
arguing
the
that. We're talking about
but
what the Bible said.
but it says
We're not saying what we feel that ninjas is doing and all that. We sticking strictly to what the God or the Bible says. We sticking
exactly.
strictly to that.
And so in Psalms 82nd chapter, when it says he standeth a judge amongst the gods, that's talking about the judges or rulers of the people. That's why when you read further down in this verse, it says, how long will ye judge unjustly and accept the person of the wicked? That's how you know it's talking about people. It's not talking about deities. They're the
That's what
people.
I've been telling you. That's
No,
what I'm
but
telling you.
I don't argue that. The only, I guess,
You said
argument,
God is not a man.
he's
You
not
said we're
talking,
not gods.
we're not the most high God.
I agreed with you all the whole time, but you were saying we wasn't gods at all.
No, we're not.
Hey, well, 1 Samuel 4:8 says, "Woe unto us! Who shall deliver us out of the hand of these mighty gods? These are the gods that smote the Egyptians with all the plagues in the wilderness."
That's 1 Samuel 4:8.
Right.
Let me get the context. But you do know that this is the Philistines talking about the children of Israel's God.
I mean, it's in the Bible, so you know what I'm
No, what I'm
saying.
saying is this is the Philistines that know the reputation of the children of Israel. That's why I said, I'm gonna read verse 7. It says, and the Philistines were afraid, and they said, God is coming to the camp. And they said,
Right.
woe unto us, for there have not been such a thing before. So they're
Right.
talking about Yahweh. They ain't talking about their gods.
But it's saying gods with the S.
Yeah, that's the Philistines talking. They ignorant.
Oh wow. Okay, that's some interesting interpretations, my brother. I hear you.
Because here's how you know they're
So
ignorant. It
Psalm.
wasn't. Let me explain why I say they're ignorant. And the scriptures say, if any man be ignorant, let him be ignorant. The reason why they're ignorant is because it wasn't God's plural that smote the Egyptians. It was one God that smote the Egyptians. One God sent Moses to bring the plagues and destroyed the Egyptians. That's why I'm saying they're ignorant. They got gods in there, and all the writer is doing is writing what they said. So they're ignorant.
I guess I hear you. Let's move on. I hear you, and this is just I'm just listening. I'm soaking up all of it. According to your understanding, who exactly is Melchizedek? If he's not God and he's not Jesus, who is he?
Well, we the way we teach is that that's one of Christ's appearances.
Oh, you saying that's Christ? So
That's one of
Melchizedek is Jesus.
well, I would say he's before Christ. Melchizedek.
Now you lost me. Now break that down. Slow it all the way down and tell me exactly what you mean by that.
All right. So what I mean by that is in the Bible you have a few appearances of Christ. Melchizedek is one of them. So Melchizedek is just an appearance.
So you saying, let me stop you right there. I got to stop you right there. So according to your interpretation and belief, because I never seen that nowhere in the Bible, you're saying that Melchizedek is Christ.
Yeah. So when it says it has no mother, no father, that's Hebrews the 7th chapter. So you got to go into the New Testament.
But Christ had a father, right? And a mother, right?
Yeah, Christ, he had a father. As Melchizedek, Christ had a father and a mother as Christ. And I said this yesterday. When we talk about even Christ in the beginning, we're using the name of Christ because that's the last name we know him as. So when I say Christ, I don't want to throw people off by saying, well, Christ didn't exist at that time. That's just a term that we use because that's the name that we know him as now. So when he came as Melchizedek, it was just an appearance. He just appeared before Abraham. Abraham paid him tithes, and then that's it. And then so you can read in Psalms 110 when David prophesied and said that Christ was after the order of Melchizedek because that was the same. And then in Hebrews the 7th chapter, Paul echoes the same sentiments.
So they made a clear distinction between two different people. Christ after the order of Melchizedek. That's two different people, right?
Where did if I could see, let me
If
see
a person say if Brother Tazaryach came after the order of Moses, are y'all the same person?
No, not at all.
Y'all two different people, right?
Yes,
So
absolutely.
Christ is not Melchizedek, right?
No, Christ is Melchizedek, though.
Got it.
I probably got I'm gonna say a 7:30 cutoff if that's good for you.
Yeah, it's all good. It's all good.
Yeah. Only I got a drive down to North Carolina I gotta make. So I need to get some rest.
But I'm open for any questions now because yesterday I kind of made myself open, but I drug you out long. So I want to answer your any questions that you got for me.
I think to be honest, like maybe we done right here because I wanted to ask you about why we don't follow the children of Israel's ways. I asked you that. I wanted to explain cleanly that Allah and Yahweh are two different gods totally. I did that. So I think I kind of asked you pretty much everything that I wanted to ask you as well. I think it was an excellent conversation between the two of us. And I hope the most thing that I hope that everybody could take now, if this is a debate, then there's a lot of,
Yeah,
it's a lot of,
yeah,
yeah, but
I ain't even into that. I don't even know how to debate. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
like the debate, man, you gotta like you said that it's a different
Yeah,
spirit behind it. Like but in a dialogue, it gives way to I don't have to be so absolute on you and you ain't gotta be so absolute on me. We can
right.
let the audience, listen to both
Yeah,
sides and then
absolutely.
go from there. So if you don't have no more questions, I'm pretty much straight.
Yeah, I got a couple more, but I just wanted
Okay.
to say, man, I love you and I respect the way that
Likewise,
you
brother.
that
Likewise.
you handle yourself and how you represent. You know, we know that we don't agree on theology or whatever, but I agree on your spirit, and I will
Right.
ride with you and for you in whatever way I can. You know, we don't even have to agree on nothing religious or whatever. But I know, I just love you for your spirit and for with the
Likewise.
dedication and the discipline that you put on studying this subject, which is God and the word of God. So you can never be my op, you can never be my
Li-
enemy. You know what I'm saying?
Likewise.
So,
Likewise,
and
brother.
I might try to do a little something with the people that claim they, them little
Hey, whatever
hotheads
you
that
do that, yeah, whatever you do with them hotheads, man, have fun. Have fun. like you see how you said them hotheads,
yeah,
whatever other Muslim come up that ain't Cam, I'm
right.
gonna have fun
Handle
too.
your business.
Yeah,
Handle
there
your
you
business.
go, man.
Yeah,
Do not say I don't want to get them because me and
right.
Tazaryach cool. No, get them
No, handle your
because
business.
I was watching. I told you I watched some of them videos.
Yeah,
I'm like, why is he even on it was damn near like, why is he on the stage with him? You know what I mean, like that
right.
because and that was one of the reasons that made me want to have the dialogue because it seems like they wanted to challenge you but didn't know how. And
Right.
I didn't want to challenge you. I wanted to let two worlds collide in a way
Yeah.
where
And
both questions should be asked and
you shut
answered.
my mouth. You shut my mouth on a few things that I'm still going back to study, and I appreciate you for that. You know what I'm
Likewise,
saying?
man, you open my ears to a lot of things. And what I like about you is that you stood on it from the NOI's position, and a lot of people don't. And you gave me, some information that I will accept as the and like I told you, I called an NOI brother,
Right,
and he
right.
confirmed what you said. And I wasn't really calling it to question you. I just had never heard it before.
Yeah, yeah.
And so it was like at the end of my live, usually I give like a slight recap before I end the live, but I was so speechless, I just ended the live. I said I didn't know what to say. I didn't know
Like they
what to
worshiping
say.
the white and the
Yeah.
devil. Yeah. Yeah, I
so
feel you. I feel you.
a wonderful conversation. So if you got I'll take like two or three more questions you got because I know you said you had some more questions for me.
Yeah, it was just about just like the dietary laws and like
Mm-hmm.
certain things that the nation of Israel say is sin, say like shaving, like we shave, you know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying, and that y'all don't shave the corners of your beard or shave your head. What is, as far as you know, what is the problem with that? Like, why is that? So one brother told me it's because you look like a female, or God don't want you to look like a female because if you don't have no hair
Yeah.
on your face, you look like a female. So what is
Uh,
your
but then
answer
what
to
about the brother that can't grow hair?
that? Right,
I mean, come on. That's why it's like, see, it's like stuff like that make me say
right,
like when we was talking about the animals, and I said, well, we just don't eat it because the Lord said, because now somebody got to make up. Well, if you shave all your hair off, you look like a woman. That don't make
right,
sense. If a
right.
brother grows bald at 27, is he now
Yeah,
looking like a
he's
woman?
sinning.
If a
Yeah,
brother got alopecia, or if a brother
right.
like some brothers' beard don't grow, or they looking like women now, like we got to be a little bit more
Yeah,
tactful with it.
right,
So in Leviticus, the 19th chapter, the reason why we not supposed to do it is because the other nations did it. So when you
mm,
start at Leviticus, the 18th chapter, it'll say, speak unto the children of Israel and say unto them, I am the Lord your God. After the doings of the land of Egypt, wherein you dwelt, ye shall not do. And after the ordinances of the land of Canaan, whither I bring you, ye shall not do, neither shall you walk in their ordinances. So all the things that the other nations round about do, we can't do. So in Leviticus 19 and 27, it says, ye shall not round the corners of your heads, neither shall you mar the corners of your beard. 28 said you shall not make any cuttings in your flesh. So we're not supposed to get tattoos either.
right,
So
right,
that's the reason why. It ain't nothing about I can't give you the science behind, like,
Yeah,
you
and
know.
that's all and I respect that, and and I understand just obeying that until
Right.
understanding comes and all that, because that's what we practice also. I just wanted to know, you know, did you have any info on that? You know
No,
what I'm saying?
just
Because
that the Lord said don't do it.
man, I got you. I respect that.
Anything else I would say after that would be just my personal opinion, because
Right,
like the Leviticus said, excuse me, the animal says because they don't chew the cud, so I can break that down. There ain't
right,
nothing else in here except don't do after the other nations, so you
right.
can't get it shape up, you can't get a bald head, so we just
Yeah.
don't do it. Now you can get it
No,
low though, even the beard. Like you don't
yeah.
have to have a big beard. You can trim
Right.
it all the way down to where it's low. You just
Uh-huh.
don't shape it up. That's all.
Right. No, I get it. I get it. And I know if people are zealous or zealots and warriors about that, they
Hmm.
going no matter what, I'm just gonna take it to the extreme. I'm gonna draw that line and y'all can't, you
Right.
know what I'm saying?
Right. Right.
And I understand manhood law when it comes to that. Because I'd rather be safe than sorry. I'd rather just follow this extremely and with so I understand that whole
Hmm.
concept. But yeah, other than that, man, like I said, I'm just thankful to you, bro. Thankful to the Most High that we even got to do this.
Yes, definitely.
And even though, like I said, we disagree, I still reach out for you from time to time and ask,
Yeah,
because
definitely, man.
other
Hit me up.
cats be coming at me crazy
Yeah.
with certain such and such. So I'm gonna be like, brother Captain Tazaryach said, blah 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 blah. And they
Yeah.
and not to put them y'all against
No,
them.
do it. I don't care, because
You
I
know
mean
what
I
I'm
don't care. Use it if they going out of line. Hey, Captain say that, and then just
saying?
see what they say when you say Captain said. They might act
Yeah,
right.
yes,
They might not go so
sir.
they might not go so crazy if you do it. And then
Absolutely,
I know you we might be in the same time zone. Maybe we can link up sometime. Who knows what we could do in the future, man. But it was definitely
absolutely.
a good build, a good dialogue. I think the people definitely deserved a part two, and so we
Yeah,
gave them a part two. And maybe we'll do something else in the future, brother. So if that's
man.
all you got, brother, I bid you shalom.
That's it.
Lord be with you
Shalom,
and your family.
shalom,
Hey, shalom,
shalom,
brother.
big
All
brother
right.
Cap. Appreciate you, love you,
No
bro.
sweat.
Peace,
I love you too, brother. Peace. All
peace.
right. All right, y'all. And that was part two. That was part two of the dialogue. There was definitely, questions I wanted to get out. I wanted to go kind of in detail about the differences between the gods, which I did that. I wanted to ask them about if they saying we the children of Israel, why we don't follow after Israel. So shout out to that. I want to big up the brother Kevin Daniels. Kevin Daniels, I want you to send me, I'm gonna put my phone number in the chat. If you could just text me your address. I think I might have it. I'm not sure. I want you to text me your address. I definitely want to send you some free products for your super chat donations, man. They would greatly appreciate it. I appreciate it a lot. And before I go, I do got a commercial I want to play real fast before y'all go. Um, I met this brother in the gym. I didn't even know this brother. And just to give you some back, he gonna say it in the video I'm gonna play, but just to give you a quick backdrop, he I was working out. It was a woman in front of us. I was working out, and as we working out, he thinks that the scent that he smells is coming from the woman. So he walking to the woman, and I'm looking at him, and so then I read their lips, and I see he talk about the scent. I said that was me. So I just want to play this video before we close out. Let me see if I got the downloaded version yet. Hold on one second. Let me see if I got that. Bear with me 1 second, y'all. Let me go to my Dropbox. Let me go to battle. Let me see if I got this in here. Hold on 1 second. Let me see if I got this one. Where you at? Here we go. Hold on. I think I got a better version on it. Let me see. Bear with me 1 second. Yep. So let me present. Wait, don't play yet. Hold on. Let's bring it back one. Pause it. Let me see if I could present screen, share screen. Let me see. Window, entire screen. So we're gonna share screen. We're gonna share this screen. Boom. So I got this screen shared. All right. So we're gonna share the screen.
I'm in the gym and there's this fragrance. I'm just like, wow, it's absolutely incredible. Oftentimes in the gym, you smell like cologne or perfume. It's too strong, it's too offensive, it doesn't leave the person's body. This is like refreshing. So, only person I thought of asking this young lady, like, what's in it that you're wearing? She looks at me. So, the only other person is this big black dude and me.
Said big
That's
black
me.
dude.
And I immediately said, yeah, that's me. I'm smelling like
Hold on,
that.
hold on.
And then looked around.
Hey, them sweatpants I got on is brought to you by Yatazar. Officer Yatazar out of New York makes them sweatpants right there. You see, it's that One West 1969. You see the symbol for each tribe. The shirt is made by Captain Nyathak down in North Carolina. Listen, I'm telling y'all, if y'all want, for my Israelite people, if you want your product promoted, man, let's work something out. You give me the product, I give you the promo, I guarantee you sell. Guaranteed. You know what I mean? Because I damn near only wear UPK clothing. Eagle Warrior, you crazy, man. I wasn't smelling like no damn woman. He just, I think, if you look at it, I just don't think he would think a man would smell good in the gym. He gonna say it. Why? He funny though, Eagle Warrior. You see, I don't mind.
Because the name of my business is Tall Gas, named after my father. You can find me on Amazon and Etsy. You can find this and many other fragrance oils, body butters, cream, beard oil, hair oil that'll make you feel good. And when the brother smelt it and I felt his vibe, I said, you know what? Now I just
Side note, my forehead be beaming, y'all. That forehead be foreheading. It be heading this way. That god damn. I'll be like, God damn.
like the reason why you see the bottle so low is because I just made it as a sample to see if I like it. So because the brother liked it and smelled it from over there, I'm giving him the bottle so he can have it. Well, and that's for him.
If you come in contact with me, this is what you're going to smell because it's absolutely incredible. It's a gym sip. So it agrees with your body. The more you sweat, the more your body temperature goes up. You can smell it, and it's not strong and offensive. This is absolutely incredible. I don't know this guy. Right? Never saw him in my life. He never saw me. So this is genuine. This product, I believe in it that much. And I gotta support him. I support entrepreneurs, right? Support the brother, but this product is answered. To order it, tell them where they can get it
You
from.
can get it right from www.callgas.com. That's 2S and gas. You can find me on Amazon or Etsy. The best products right.
That's it. One, you can DM me too, and I can get you in contact. So that's what I'm telling you. Like, I'm sticking with this, bro. I got my thing, man. That's what we did.
Niggas sweet on the brown side. I leave them wetter than a whale ride. UPK.
And with that, wait, let me stop sharing. And with that, I appreciate y'all rocking with me, man. Until next time, Shalom Israel.